Happy Friday night, everyone. It's a hot one here in downtown Utica for another edition of USPBL Baseball. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We got a great matchup today. The number 2 team in the USPBL, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, taking on the 4th place Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And Alex, we saw a game last night between the Mammoths and the Unicorns. Mammoths got a big win to stay in first place, a full game ahead in first place on these Hoppers. But today we got a pitcher's duel. Greg Lokinen faces Pierce Banks, 2 of the top pitchers in the league. I cannot wait for the Hoppers and Beavers to go at it today.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one here tonight. Pierce Banks, Greg Lokinen, 2 of the top pitchers in this league by far. It's been really good throughout the course of the season. How both of those guys have been. They did really well in their last game last week for both of those guys. Had really strong outings, and they've been showing themselves why they're the top 2 pitchers in this league.
For the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, they got a new face, Luis Aviles. He is one of the new catchers that has joined this program, spent time at Rice University, Tulane, and he's looking to be an impact player along with another newbie, Colin Cornwell. He had an awesome weekend, went 4 for 6 in a doubleheader last week, and it's so awesome to see a lot of new guys come into this Hopper team and help make an impact. Yeah, it really has been, Tom, and it was really good to see Colin Cornwell, local guy, played over at Saginaw Valley State, come over to this Hoppers team and really did a really good job. Went 4 for 6 in the weekend, got his first hit and his first RBI. His family was here on Saturday night. They were really happy to see him. Had a really good game. And for Luis Aviles, going to be coming in the catcher position. He's not in the lineup tonight, but maybe we'll see him either late in the game or they'll play again on Sunday. But he's going to be a really nice addition behind the dish for the Hoppers and look to make a push for first place in the standings. Yes, sir. Let's keep it with Eastside right now and talk about a couple of the mainstay guys that we haven't seen in a minute. Matt Gehrig, he's back in the lineup coming off injury, and Noah Marcoux is back with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. I mean, this is a team that scores the most runs in the entire league, so, I mean, it only gets better for him by adding the new guys that can swing it, but also getting those old guys, the Marcoux, the Gehrigs of the world that mash RBI after RBI, home run after home run, back to the lineup. It's great to see for head coach Ryan Kotke and these Hops.
Yeah, absolutely. Having those guys come back, Gehrig and Marcoux, 2 very huge bats in the lineup, and they've been really dominant all season long because of them. They've been guiding the way. And we saw it with Gehrig early on in the season. Marcoux, he was leading the team in average and a lot of power, and it's good to have a bat like him back to help boost the rest of the guys and just have some mentors in the locker room for the younger guys coming in, guys who are coming in right away, Cornwell, Aviles, and one of the newcomers who came in over the past month or so to make an impact and try to get past the Mammoths for first place. Got a lot of work to do. We're in the home stretch of the season, Tom. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see what the Hoppers can do with all the new pieces coming in and the old guys coming back.
Yes, sir. Just 6 weeks left in the season, excuse me, but now we turn it over to this Birmingham Bloomfield team that, I mean, it's a complete resurgence of a program for head coach John Dombrowski and this Beavers squad. I mean, last time we saw this team was a 10-7 win against the Mammoths. 5 home runs hit in that game. A couple of the new guys that hit homers, Bean and Rodriguez, but then you also had a guy in Matt Pietrowski. He showed his power again. I love what I'm seeing from this Beaver team, and they can compete with the best of them.
Yeah, they've revamped their lineup, and it's been really good to see over the last month since the senior showcase. Matt Pietrowski has been a guy that stepped in, had that 2-homer game. He's been the catalyst, ever since coming in, early in the middle part of the season. Then you had guys like Blake Bean and Chase Rodriguez who've also stepped in and really come through in a huge way. Chase Rodriguez, first 2 home runs in the USPBL for him. It was really good to see that walk-off home run out to right field. Just a really good feeling for the Beavers to come back. It was a really back-and-forth game. The Beavers had the edge, and the Mammoths came back, but they were able to come through and get the walk-off victory Sunday afternoon. Really good to see, and I'm looking forward to see how they respond from that here tonight against the Hoppers.
We have 3 teams in the USPBL, the Unicorns, the Hoppers, and the Mammoths, all tied with 15 wins, but a few losses separate them for first, second, and third place. But this Beaver team, I know they only have 8 wins on the season, but when it comes down to playoff time, you could see them sneak up and get a big win against maybe the Hoppers, the Mammoths, whoever they would play in that first round.
Yeah, it's an 8-team any given day, and we've seen what the Beavers have done. They had off to a little bit of a slow start, at the beginning of the season, but they picked it up a notch over the last few weeks. And when it comes down to playoff time, everyone gets in, Tom, and it doesn't matter if you're the first place team or the last place team. Everyone has a chance to hold up the trophy at the end of the season. Watch out for the Beavers. They could do what the Unicorns did last season. They were the last seed in and able to come through with the championship on Championship Saturday.
Watch out for those Beavers and those Hoppers. Those are the 2 we have set today on Olympics night. It's Firework Friday in downtown Utica from the USPBL. When we come back, first pitch and lineups.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community, At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
pin uniforms. Hoppers in there, black with orange numbers, script on the back, and the Hoppers logo on the front. We'll take a look at the defense now. Or check that. We'll look at the Beavers lineup, their starting lineup, as we'll see in the bottom of the first. 8-19 Beavers coming up. Ben Will Coxon leads it off at shortstop. Blake Bean, who homered last time that the fans got to see the Beavers in action. He plays left field, batting second. Matt Pietrowski batting third, playing second base. He went deep twice last Sunday. Joe Burke batting fourth at first. Chase Rodriguez, also 2 home runs back on Sunday in a 10-7 win against the Mammoths. In center field, the DH Ray Hilbrick batting sixth. Christian Ortega, the home run derby champ, batting seventh at third. The catcher is Ranko Stefanovic batting eighth, and Pablo Ruiz rounds out the lineup in right field. Taking a look at the standings here for the USPBL. 3 teams at the top, 15 wins apiece between the Mammoths, the Hoppers, and the Unicorns. Pretty incredible, but there's 2 losses that separate each team. 9 losses for the Mammoths, 11 for Eastside, and the Unicorns with 13, so that kind of trickles down for the first, second, and third place. But even the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers right there, only 8 wins. They had a slow start to the season. We talked about it in the pregame. When we get to playoff time, because of how hot this team has been at the plate and their pitching has started to improve, boy, they could knock off the top seed.
Yeah, they could really make some noise and really pull an upset come playoff time. And everything has gelled together for the Beavers as of late, and it's been good to see. And they pulled off a really good stretch of games, and if they're able to keep it up that way, it could be interesting. Come the last week of the season. And every team has a chance. It doesn't matter if you're in first place or the last place team in. It's going to be it could go down to the wire, and anybody can knock off anybody. And looking at the Beavers here tonight, they got a lot to play for. They're trying to get back into the thick things. The Hoppers trying to edge closer to take out the Mammoths for first place.
National anthem coming up in just a moment. Greg Lokinen takes the bump for the Beavers as he'll face the Eastside Diamond Hoppers coming up at 7:05 from Jimmy John's Field and the USPBL Network.
The USPBL powered by UWM baseball games at Jimmy John's Field are the fun and family-friendly experience you won't want to miss. Entertainment every week, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks every Friday, live music Saturdays, and Sunday fun days for the kids. Kids run the bases after every game, and parking is always free. Come see the stars of the future at Jimmy John's Field. Get your tickets today at uspbl.com.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Perfect national anthem from Lily Alatar, and we are set to go for baseball in just a few minutes. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. Beavers in 4th place taking on the 2nd place Eastside Diamond Hoppers, and we're going to look now at the three-dimensional services group. Defense, posted by head coach John Dombrowski and those Beavs. Behind the dish, doing the catching for Lokinen, it will be Ranko Stefanovic. Christian Ortega plays 3rd base. Ben Wilcoxon at shortstop. Matt Piotrowski plays 2nd, and Joe Burke over at 1st. And your outfield for the Beavers, Blake Bean in left, Chase Rodriguez in center, and Pablo Ruiz in right field. All 3 of those guys have gone deep in the last week or so. Bean back on Sunday. Rodriguez, same thing. Back on Sunday, went deep twice. And Ruiz, a couple of pops over his last couple of games as well. He's in the 9th spot batting for this Beaver team. Greg Lokinen coming in with a 3.29 ERA and a 4-4 record. He's got some nasty stuff. Just got a haircut, ready to hop on that mound, toe the slab, and put up a 0 to start the ball game.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one for Lokinen here tonight, trying to bounce back from that tough loss he had last Friday against the Woolly Mammoths, where he had really strong in that game where he went 6 innings, only allowed 4 hits, 1 run, had 4 strikeouts and 3 walks in that game. And you take a look at his stat line here, Tom, it's been phenomenal. 4-4 record, 3.29 ERA, 53 strikeouts. That's most in the league. And compared to just 18 walks, a solid softball out of Berkeley, and played at Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Georgia Gwinnett College, making him one of the top pitchers, in this league. And he's going to give the Hoppers a run for their money here tonight, based on the stuff that he is going to throw at you. And it has been really dominant all season long for Lokinen right here. And he has his 4-seam fastball, throwing a curveball, changeup, and rarely a slider, but and he felt really good. Now, I talked over with him before the game, so really good about himself, getting trained throughout the week and getting himself back in the swing of things after having a week off in between games. So looking forward to see how he does here tonight. The Hoppers improving their offense a lot, with Gehrig and Marcoux back in the lineup, and some other guys coming in, some of the newbies contributing as well. So it's going to be a tall task for him tonight, but he's going to get the job done.
Lokinen, the last time he faced this Hopper team was back on July 17th in a 6-3 win. He did not record the victory. That was Julian Pichardo. Lokinen actually came out of the bullpen, pitched the 8th inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 1 as well in that 8th frame back on the 17th. And he's making yet another start here in the USPBL. Love what I've seen all year long from Greg, and he's going to continue to fill up the strike zone and miss bats. So we got a few fans grabbing some quick autographs before we get going here. Going to start just a bit after 7:05 p.m. So we mentioned the Beavers in their home whites with their blacks with the east side across the front and the orange and green numbers on the back. Firework Friday, it's also Olympics night as we got started with the 2024 Paris Olympics today. Saw Snoop Dogg carrying the torch.
Yeah, the Olympics, they're starting up here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, all the events that go on there in Paris. And
do you have a favorite sport?
It's tough for me. I know the basketball is going to be really good this year. I know they've had some really close games, though, in the warm-ups, but it's always fun to watch, especially with all those guys. But it's going to be good, and looking forward to the action here tonight. It's going to be a good matchup here between Lokinen and Banks.
First pitch is a ball inside at 7:06 p.m. Bailey Martin taps the second pitch foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Game time temperature 79 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, look at the numbers for Martin here so far. 253 on the season. Does have a home run. Has driven in 9. The man out of Independence, Kentucky.
He's up in the count now, 2-1. Lokinen's been roughed up once or twice this year. Once against the Unicorns and once against these same Hoppers, but he's been really good pretty much all year long, especially keeping that hit total down with the high innings pitched. Strike 2 on the outside corner.
Yeah, just looking at good stuff here by Lokinen. Is he's going to try to be able to get with a fastball in the top part of the strike zone. Then he'll try to go through his off-speed, his curveball, and change in the middle part of the zone when talking over with him before the game.
2-2 pitch to leadoff batter Martin is high. Full count to start. It'll be Martin, Stevenson, and Marcoux to lead things off for the Hoppers here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, just with that a little bit too high for Martin to chase.
Lokinen works third base side of the rubber, goes over the head through the windup. 3-2 check swing. Did he go around? They say no, he did not. It's ball 4 and a leadoff walk from Lokinen.
Yeah, was trying to get him there with the off speed at 76. It was below the zone, but Martin able to hold up enough. But he's able to get the walk and get the leadoff man on.
That'll bring up Grant Stevenson, the shortstop today.
And Lokinen has been trying to put a goal for himself, try to limit the amount of walks he's had.
Quick pick over to first. Martin not fooled. He's back in safely. And you're right, he's got only 18 walks compared to 53 strikeouts through 52 innings. But last time out, he did hit a batter and walk a couple in 4 innings of work, allowing just 1 run. Strike called, outside corner, 0-1 to Stevenson. And to anybody else, you see those numbers, you go, oh, he's walked 2 or 3 in an outing over the course of 3 or 4 starts. That's not bad. But for a guy like Lokinen, when you expect him to put up zeros all across the board, it looks a little bit differently. But he has been stellar so far this season. Count moves to 1-1.
Yeah, he's been trying to be able to guide this team, and you don't want to put pressure on any particular guy, to go 7 or 8 innings. So it's tough. Things happen throughout each game, and you never know what's going to happen. But for Lokinen, he's been able to be consistent, throughout the season. And every guy will have their bump in the road here and there, but he's been really strong as of late and tried to help this Beavers, pitching staff and team as a whole to get back on track. And he's been a huge reason why. Being that leader, he's been a veteran guy in this league, trying to help the other guys, in that pitching staff to get to where they are right now.
Grab all the shortstop. Forehand play for Wilcoxon. His only tosses to first. Stevenson is out, and Martin will move up to second base. Nice play from the shortstop, Ben Wilcoxon. And there's a runner in scoring position to open up the ball game for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, I like the decision by Wilcoxon, making the wise choice. You want to be able to turn 2, but Martin probably would have had a good chance to get to second safely to not get the fielder's choice. But you got the for sure out at first, so you didn't go away empty-handed.
Here comes Noah Marcoux, resting the bat on his left shoulder with a semi-open stance. Breaking ball, upper outer corner for strike 1, starting off Marcoux with a little off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it's good to see him back at the Hoppers, and they're really pleased to have him back, especially in this point in the season. Lokinen is going to be really wise with him, having seen him multiple times throughout the course of the season. And
ooh, big swing and a miss. Fooled on that breaking pitch outside again. It's 76 miles an hour.
And when you're facing a guy like Marcoux, you got to be very cautious on where you're going to throw. You throw back-to-back curveballs at 76 on the gun. Maybe you try to go change, or maybe try to pass count 0-2.
Had him out in front of the last one. Fastball upper outer corner, just a little bit too high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Noah. 3 to Marcoux, 5 home runs. That's good to lead the team. And 19 RBIs as well. He's mashed the ball, and also 22 walks compared to just 18 strikeouts. So he's winning in that category as well. Off the plate outside, we're going to move to 2-2.
Yeah, that was a few inches off. Good eye by Marcoux. He's not going to be a guy that goes after pitches and chase them. Being a disciplined guy at the plate, even though he has power, though he does it with the batting average as well, over 360, which is phenomenal.
No score, top of the first inning. Hoppers and Beavers on a Friday night. 2-2 pitch. Outside corner. Strike 3. Marcoux doesn't like the call. Lokinen picks up yet another strikeout, his first of this game, and there's 2 gone with the runner at second base for Matt Garrick.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like a half a second delay by the home plate umpire, as you see on the replay. It was an 88 miles an hour fastball, and the home plate umpire run him up. It was debating what he was going to call, and just in that split moment, called strike 3 on Marcoux. He was questioning that where he thought that pitch was going to be, for next time when he's at the plate.
Stefanovic did all he could to make it look like a strike, and he succeeded. Wave and a miss at a breaking pitch down in the back foot of Matt Garrick.
And Matt Garrick also back in this Hoppers lineup that has been really strong throughout the course of this season. You take a look at his numbers, 3 homers and 15 RBIs of a .277 average.
0-1 to him. Make it strike two. 0-2 to the cleanup hitter, Matt Gehrig.
Yeah, back-to-back times, being ahead 0-2. Some of the dangerous hitters in this Hoppers lineup.
Got some pop with that wide base. 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Swing and a miss. Greg Lokinen pitches around a leadoff walk and strikes out the final 2 batters in the top of the first inning, getting Marcoux and Gehrig a couple deadly threats. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Beavers and Hoppers from the USPBL.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
The other top arm in the USPBL takes the mound here in the bottom of the first inning in Pierce Banks for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Banks, 4-2 record. He's been awesome so far this year as the seats continue to fill up on a firework Friday. Love what we've seen from the kid, a sub-2 ERA and a .67 averaged against. He's going to give these Hoppers their best chance at victory today. Let's take a look at the three-dimensional services group defense, starting with Whit Hughes doing the catching for Banks behind the dish. Todd Maddox at third base, Grant Stevenson at short, Bailey Martin's over at second base, Noah Marcoux back at first, and your outfield in left is Colin Cornwell, Zeb Rose in center, and Brian Schellenbarger in right field. Gotta love what we've seen from Banks this year. 40 2/3 innings, just 24 hits allowed. He has been shut out all year long.
Yeah, take a look at those numbers. He has been phenomenal, Tom. ERA under 2, like you mentioned, 4-2 record, 51 strikeouts, second in the league behind Greg Lokinen, who has 55 now after those 2 punch-outs in the first inning. But he has been really good throughout the course of this season. And take a look at his last start. Went 4 innings in that game 1 of the doubleheader against the Unicorns. 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and they had to have an earned run in that game. He had a little bit of trouble near the middle part of that game, but he was able to get the job done. His offense came up with 8 runs in that game to get the victory. But Coach Ryan Cockey has been happy with him and pleased what he's done all season long, as he'll face this Beavers lineup that has improved a lot over the last few weeks with Ben Wilcoxon at the dish to start off.
Quickly, 0-2 to Ben. Stands in the very back of that right-handed batter's box. Banks setting near the ear. 0-2 breaking pitch is a bit high. Banks, as we mentioned, the .167 averaged against. Nobody really gets hits off him with only 24 allowed, making yet another start. The 1-2, ground ball to third base, gobbled up by Maddox. Couple of steps, taps the glove. 1 gone to open up the inning.
Yeah, it was a good piece of hitting by Wilcoxon, but just sent it right over to the third baseman, Todd Maddox. And to take a look at the replay here. Got him into that breaking ball at 77, right near the heart of the strike zone. Took 1 hop over to Maddox to make the accurate throw. Back over to Marcoux for the out.
Wilcoxon hit it hard, just at one of the best third basemen in this entire league. Love what we see from Todd Maddox in the field. Here's Blake Bean with the red bat. Takes pitch number 1 inside. Breaking ball at 73, misses down and in. Bean's been on a tear since joining the league.
He had his first home run in the USPBL this past Sunday against the Mammoths. His second on the team in average at .324, just behind Matt Piotrowski.
It's a tough man to beat out. Both of these guys, just great starts to their seasons in the USPBL. 2-0 pitch to Bean, lined and caught at first. How about Noah Marcoux? Welcome back, big fella. Rob's Bean of maybe extra bases.
Yeah, just leaped up for it to make that spectacular play. Noah Marcoux, it came out right there on a breaking ball at 76, and
he's all smiles.
Yeah, came up there, jumped up, and was fired up after that one, and that's really good to see from Magna back in the lineup for this Hoppers team, trying to gain edge on the Moly Mammoths.
Marcoux standing at about 6'3", possibly 6'4" with those cleats on. Definitely helped him out a little bit on that swing. 2 gone. To lead off the inning, Matt Piotrowski taps the 1-0 at his feet. Piotrowski went deep back twice on Sunday, and another guy that has just made an immediate impact in his first 80 at-bats.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal here, Tom, and had that 2-homer game on Sunday. It was just really a spark for the Beavers as they put up 10 runs in that game, and they've been looking to try to improve on that all in this point of the season and what they've been working on all season long. And having a guy like Piotrowski come through like that and really spark the offense.
He won 5 of their last 8 ball games. 5 of the last 9, excuse me. They lost earlier this week in a non-public game back on Tuesday.
And there was a 12-6 loss to the Unicorns.
The 2-2 pitch, way low and outside. Good stop from Whit Hughes. We're going to send to a full count on the 3-batter Matt Piotrowski. Last time that Banks faced this Beaver team was back on July 13th. Through 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. It was a 3-2 loss for the Hoppers. Piotrowski skies one in the air, out of play on the right field line.
Yeah, it's been some good starts as of late for Banks. Been able to just allow just 1 run in one of his last few starts, and you want to be able to have a guy, your ace, to go really deep in ball games, especially being the 9-inning game today. Try to go 6, maybe 7.
3-2, opposite field swing down the right field line, fair ball. Coming over to pick it up is Schellenbarger. Piotrowski's going to chug on with a 2-out double. Continuing to hit for extra base power, Matt Piotrowski puts his team in scoring position here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, right over the heart of the plate. Matt Piotrowski took advantage of it. As Banks, there's not that pitch he wanted to have in mind on a 3-2. As Piotrowski just landed that one fair.
That was a middle pitch. And taking it the opposite way was Matt. 4th double of the year for Piotrowski. Now Joe Burke will take ball 1 upstairs.
Burke facing his former team. He was on the Hoppers a season ago and had 8 home runs for them last season. He's been with the league for 4 years now, and having a guy like him in your clubhouse, with this mentoring and helping the other guys contribute and get to where they are today.
Burke lines one into left field for a single. Coming around third base is Piotrowski. There's going to be a throw at the plate. No, it's cut off in the middle. Piotrowski's in no man's land. Maddox is going to tag him out, and that's the inning. Head coach John Dombrowski was sending Piotrowski around third. They cut off the throw. Did Maddox at third base, and Piotrowski caught in the middle for out number 3. Let's take another look, Alex.
Yeah, that was just lined right in front of Cornwell, and what a nice play as that was cut off. That's just really good work there. Piotrowski was confused, and he was out at the plate. Good job by Todd Maddox to get him on to save a run.
That's why they teach you to hit your cutoff man. We go to the second. No score on the USPBL network.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Sun shining bright on a Friday. No score between the Beavers and Hoppers as we enter the latter half of our season. Playoffs just around the corner in September. 1 full month of baseball left. Greg Lokinen back on for another inning. He gave up a walk to start and pitched around that with a couple of strikeouts. Here's a broken bat. Tapper to second base. Pietrowski evading the barrel and throws to first in time. That's an acrobatic play from number 6 for out number 1.
Yeah, especially with the bat coming right at you. You gotta be careful not to trip over that.
Trip over it, hit you in the leg, maybe stab you a little bit because it's a shard right there. So Pietrowski's got to find his way around that. I mean, look at how far that barrel went. Cornwell, he sent it all the way out to the dirt infield. Colin Cornwell grounds out to start the inning, and Greg Lokinen has retired 4 straight.
Yeah, that was just good footwork to get out of the way on that, and you don't want to step on it and fall over.
First pitch to Zeb Rose, squares him up on the foot. He is not bothered one bit. 1 out, hit by pitch to Zeb, has another runner aboard for the Hoppers.
Yeah, I got him in there with the 87-mile-per-hour fastball, and Lokinen, not what we wanted to do there after a really good defensive play.
How did he not react? It looked like that squared him up in the front of the shin. Okay, now he's going to take a little walk off. I mean, he looked unbothered by that fastball that hit him right in the front.
Yeah, he just kind of like this. Didn't really react to it.
And Rose, he's second in the team with 10 stolen bases, has not been caught yet. But I think you give him, he's got to take a pitch or two maybe to shake that off unless the adrenaline's really going. Here's Schellenbarger with a man on, a man out. Stefanovic set up outside. There goes Rose on the first pitch. Throw down, not in time. 11th stolen base for Zeb Rose after he gets squared up in the ankle with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball on the last pitch.
Yeah, that didn't faze him at all. Had a really good jump. Well, Stefanovic had a good throw. It just popped out of the glove of Will Coxon.
See, that's, Zeb being a smart baseball player. You walk down that first baseline acting like you really are dealing with something, making the defense think you're not stealing, and then boom, first pitch, you're gone.
Yeah, you got to be able to know to read the defense and try to make them think differently.
He definitely did that. Schellenbarger fouls it back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike to the lefty out of Akron University from Mount Vernon, Ohio.
And those are the kind of plays you got to do if you're Zeb Rose. Fold the defense and catch them sleeping off guard, and they did that right there. It was just a good throw by Stefanovic. Will Coxon would have had the tag if the ball didn't go out of his glove. Would have been really close.
Yeah, Stefanovic gets it in the air. They might have had him, but that one bounce is a split-second difference, letting Zeb get in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schellenbarger. The pitch from Lokinen, way outside.
This is a prime opportunity for Schellenbarger. Took the double play ball out of the equation, but they're looking to capitalize on their heroic play defensively after getting Pietrowski down in a pickle to end the last half inning.
2-2 pitch, just off. 3-2, second full count that a Hopper hitter will go to. Lokinen, he's given up 16 hits in 50 at-bats against lefties this season. That's good for a .320 averaged against these lefties here. Only 3 lefties in each lineup. Time called at the dish from Schellenbarger. He'll take his time.
Yeah, especially in a 3-2 count. You never know what Lokinen's going to throw. He might throw fastball. He might throw breaking ball at you.
Yeah, he threw a breaking pitch to Bailey Martin the last 3-2 we saw. That was a ball 4 walk. Did Schellenbarger go around? No, he didn't. Slider down and away is ball 4, and it's 2 on with 1 out as Schellenbarger takes.
Yeah, that's a really good eye by Schellenbarger to hold back.
Especially on 3-2, you know, because he wants to go all after that pitch. You got to have the good eye.
Yeah, you don't want to force something and swing at it or get a weak ground ball out. That's just really good work by Schellenbarger to get himself on base and bring it up to the hero of the last half inning, Todd Maddox.
6 walks now in the season for Schellenbarger. Time is called as Lokinen went to throw. It's going to be a pitch clock violation on Greg. Touching his chest saying, that was on me? I guess he took a moment too long. Todd Maddox has a 1-0 count. He comes in with a 203 average.
Yeah, with the pitch clock, no violations. They've been decreased this season. With the second year of being that enforced. Well, we've seen that with some of the new guys that have come in. It'll take a second to get that adjust, but it has died down a lot.
Double play depth for the middle infielders, Wilcoxon and Pietrowski. The 2-0 pitch grabs the outside corner for the first strike to Maddox. 8th batter in this lineup, Whit Hughes will follow. He rounds out the Hopper lineup.
Yeah, we'll see what Maddox can do here. Good opportunity, first and second, 1 out. Trying to get the Hoppers on the board.
Swings right over top of that one. Breaking pitch at 78. Drops to the bottom third of the zone, 2-2.
There's not much we can do on that, of how Lokinen throws it.
Lokinen grips the ball in his throwing hand, sets up near the chin. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Greg Lokinen, and that's a big one. 2 on with 2 out here in the 2nd inning.
Went fastball right down the middle at 89, Tom, and Maddox just whiffed and missed at it.
He challenged him, put it right down the middle. Couldn't come up with anything. 9th batter, Whit Hughes. Looking to have a clutch swing here with 2 on, 1 in scoring position. That's Zeb Rose. Can run very well on a single here. Flare foul back to the screen, 0-1 quickly. Lokinen making sure to raise that tempo a little bit after being called for a pitch clock violation, but that didn't faze him one bit as he came back to strike out Maddox on the next 3 pitches.
And whenever you get called like that, it ruins your rhythm and gets you down for a second. It takes you a moment to get back up. But for Lokinen, he's able to not let that faze him at all. Being down in the count early. As you see Whit Hughes at the plate, looking to come through in a runner in scoring position situation.
Whit Hughes, the player coach, assistant for head coach Ryan Kottke down there at third base. The 0-2, wave and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts and back-to-back innings for Greg Lokinen. He has a total of 4 and strands 2 more base runners for the Hoppers. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score from the USPBL network. Lokinen's dialed in.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
When it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Home Brewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. As we enter the bottom of the second inning, Pierce Banks gave up 2 hits in that first, came out unscathed. There's multiple different drinks you can be getting here at the ballpark. That's why I love Jimmy John's. You have so many different options. They had walking tacos, they had cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and maybe even some Bell's Brewery as well, you know.
Yeah, things to go through, and a burger and a brew and everything doing good, man. It's that on a Friday night. Gorgeous night here for baseball here tonight. Couldn't ask for better weather.
I mean, you're telling me, man, it's perfect out.
It was really good all weekend long last weekend with the weather, and I'm here tonight. Just sunny skies, not too hot today.
Chase Rodriguez will lead things off and swing at the first pitch, skying it in the air to shallow left field. Cornwell in a few steps makes the catch. Up 1 pitch. Let's talk about this Beaver lineup as they had 2 big swings. Matt Piotrowski doubles with 2 outs, and then Joe Burke, his single to left field, ultimately cut down Piotrowski at the plate when that ball was cut off. Cornwell involved with that play, but I like what I've seen early on for Birmingham. They're putting good barrel on the ball against Banks.
Yeah, no, Burke's sending that one down into left field. Dombrowski was telling Piotrowski to go like he was going to score easily, but Cornwell was able to get the throw in quickly. Maddox cut it off. And Piotrowski, I think, was kind of surprised by that. He was like right behind him, and he got himself into a little pickle, and Maddox was able to tag him out to save the Hoppers a run early on here in this ball game. And
Hilbrick up in the count, 2-0. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers lead the series on the year 7-3 against the Beavers this year, although the last meeting came out in the favor of the Beavers, 6-3 win. Dolney and Hilbrick both with a pair of RBIs in that game. Ray was the batting champion last year in 2023 of the USPBL, and he'll walk on 4 pitches here in the second inning. Not something we see very often from Pierce Banks, only 15 walks through over 41 innings, and he just let him go on 4 there.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, we hardly see a 4-pitch walk from Banks. No, it was just a good eye by Hilbrick not to go after it. No, 3-0. You expect something right over the heart of the plate, and you let that one go by you. But got 1 on and 1 out.
Christian Ortega takes ball 1 upstairs. Pretty good numbers for Ortega. RBI's a little bit down, but the home runs have come, especially in that home run derby that he is the champion of this year.
Yeah, has shown a lot of power, and he's a guy that in that 7 spot can really spark off the rest of the offense, especially in that bottom 3rd part of the order. Ortega
from Miami, Florida, played at Davis and Elkins and also Tuscaloosa University. 2-0 pitch is a called strike.
And after 6 straight balls were thrown, finally finding the strike zone is Banks on that fastball.
90 miles an hour, middle of the zone to Ortega. He stands back of the box with an upright stance. Taking off for second is Hilbrick. The throwdown is wide of the bag, off the glove of the second baseman Martin, and Ray Hilbrick picks up a stolen bag, puts another runner in scoring position for these Beavs.
Yeah, an off-target throw by Hughes, as you see on the replay, as Hilbrick just got a huge jump. It was going to be not even close. Him getting a tag on was Bailey Martin.
Team lead, 9 stolen bases now for Hilbrick. Has not been caught stealing yet this season. 2-2 to Ortega. In the dirt, blocked up by Hughes. A little bit of command issues right now for Pierce Banks here in the second inning. Gave up a couple of hits in the first, but now unable to fill up the zone like he has been all year long.
Just got to be able to just work yourself mentally. If you're Banks, don't want to afford another back-to-back walk.
From the stretch, does not look at Hilbrick. The 3-2 is high for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Pierce Banks here in the second inning, and the Beavers with a nice chance with only 1 out.
Yeah, I was trying to fool him off speed with that 76-mile-per-hour breaking ball. It was just a little bit above the zone. Ortega was not going to go after it. He was questioning about it, but he just held the bat. Umpire thought it was upstairs, got himself first base.
From what we've seen from Pierce Banks this year, he's mentally strong. And in a situation like this, swing and a miss from Ranko Stefanovic, if Banks gets in a situation back-to-back walks, he's going to find a way to bounce back. Has not struck anyone out yet. He's got 2 on for Ranko Stefanovic. He fouls it off quickly, 0-2.
And those are traits you got to have, especially if you're going to be an ace, not just on your team, but in the league. How to respond from situations like this where you give up back-to-back walks. You got 2 runners on and 1 out. You're trying to find that on that ground ball double play. Or if you're able to get some contact through the air or get a couple punch outs, you're just going to be able to work yourself your way through. If you're Banks right now, just take it 1 pitch at a time. Would you like, just want to get a double play ball to end the end? You would like that, but you can't expect that. You got to be able to try to find ways.
Hilbrick takes off for third base. Here's a foul ball off the bat of Stefanovic out of play. 1-2, it stays.
You saw that huge jump by Hilbrick. He was edging to go, and he did, trying to do the hit and run. John Dabrowski has been aggressive so far in this game.
Yeah, especially with Todd Maddox playing deep at third base. Tough to get over there in time to lay a tag down from Hughes. First base side of the rubber. Banks tucks the ball behind his right cheek, now comes set. Checks the runner Hilbrick once, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball, bottom of the zone. And a huge strikeout, number 1 on the day for Pierce Banks, and there's 2 gone in the second.
Yeah, it's a really good movement. It was just a nasty pitch thrown by Banks to fool Stefanovic for an important punch out.
That started about belt high, cut down to about the knees, and Stefanovic was way out in front, just missing it. 2 gone for Pablo Ruiz. He's going to ground one to third base. High hop gets over the glove of Maddox. Hilbrick rounding third base. He's going to try and score, and will. Pablo Ruiz gets the Beavers on the board first. 1-0 here in the second inning.
Yeah, they just came off really strong off Ruiz. Maddox unable to make the play. It goes over him. Cornell able to make it up. Was cut off by Maddox. Unable to get the out at home that time. And the Beavers get on the board first. It's really well done. Coming through here are the Beavers.
4th RBI for Pablo Ruiz this year. Hilbrick comes around to score here in the second inning. Banks delivers a first pitch foul ball back to the screen off the bat of Ben Wilcoxon.
And that's just some really good work from your number 9 here. And the rest of the bottom of the order, note to turn over to the top of your lineup with the lead.
That was a really tough play for Maddox. I mean, it hit the very lip of the infield grass and just bounced right over. Here's a ground ball to Stevenson. He gobbles and flips down to second base. Wilcoxon bounces out for out number 3, but Pablo Ruiz makes it 1-0 Beavs at the end of 2 with an RBI single to left field. We go to the third. You're listening to USPBL Baseball.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and reset our life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Clear skies and sunny here in Southeast Michigan. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. 78 degrees and the humidity a little high, but like you said earlier, Alex, cannot ask for better baseball weather than what we have here today.
Yeah, just perfect weather here, Tom, and not too hot, no, not too humid either. No, it just benefits the players. You know, I mentioned over last week, and they were just sweating up a storm. Especially with Greg Loken, you know, in his last start, and was saying, like, am I really sweating really much? You know, he was just coming off fine, but he's been doing really well. His team has picked him up with some early run support here in this ball game after not scoring till the 9th inning last Friday in his last start. So it's good to see the offense come through here early on.
Yeah, he really needed that, did Lokenen. I mean, he pitched a great base, no runs on his side of the scoreboard. So it was just uphill climbing all day long. Bailey Martin, he walked his last time out to start the first inning to lead off the ball game. He'll lead off the third now. He'll swing and hit a fly ball left center field. Back going is Bean to the track, looking up. That ball's gone. Bailey Martin, a solo shot to left field, points out to the berm. And on just one pitch, this game is tied up at 1 apiece.
Good work off the bat of Bailey Martin in the bottom middle part of the strike zone at 87 miles an hour. Bean was tracking it down. Thought he maybe had a chance to make it at the wall at the warning track, but it just carried out 349 feet over that left center field wall, and new ball here in the third inning as we take a look at the replay.
Second long ball of the year for Martin. He put that out in one of the deepest parts in left center field. All Bean can do is watch. 1-1 as Grant Stevenson comes to the plate. 0-1 pitch to him is outside.
Yeah, just a good response by the Hoppers to get back right.
That's the 4th home run that Lokenen's given up this year. That leads the team. Soft ground ball, third base. Foul as Ortega picks it up just a step to the left. Grant Stevenson from Algonac, Michigan, plays ball over at Xavier University. He's patrolling shortstop. His brother Luke on the team for last couple of weeks. Was a catcher for this Hopper program. Lokenen trying to bounce back. He's got 4 strikeouts so far today. The 1-2 upstairs.
We'll see how he responds from that after. Wasn't a bad pitch. You know, it was in the bottom part of the strike zone. Wasn't a gimme. But Martin able to hit it off that bottom part of the zone and carry it out.
That just sounded different off his bat. Sometimes you just know when you hear a crack of the bat like it did for Bailey Martin, you know that ball's gone. Here's the 3-2. Check swing. It's a foul ball. Our home plate umpire calls it foul immediately. It looked like it got a piece of Stevenson on the way back to the mound.
Yeah, so the umpire will hold his hands up right away, and we could take a look at this here.
Oh, right in the toe.
Yeah, it did.
Over the head again. Lokenen on the 3-2. Foul to the screen. Good fight from Grant here. After the leadoff man, Bailey Martin went deep to tie things up. That's a broadcaster's jinx, Alex. We just talked about run support for, for Greg Lokenen early in the ball game, and the very next pitch, the game is tied. Here's the full count again. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Greg Lokenen. Good bounce back after the long ball. 1 out here in the third inning.
Yeah, good response. Got him with a breaking ball inside at 75 to get Stevenson to go swing at it. And you know, we were saying all the good things about Lokenen. How, hey, his offense is really clicking. Got an early run support. We'll see if they were able to do what they did on Sunday. But then all of a sudden, bam, Bailey Martin said, no. I got different ideas here. Send that one over the left center field wall, right behind that Weingart sign out there. So
5 strikeouts now for Lokenen. One of those victims is the man at the dish, Noah Marcoux. He went down looking, the only staring strikeout of the day. 2 balls, no strikes to Noah. Taps that front foot 2-0 to him. Down and outside.
Yeah, he's just trying to be careful with him not to throw anything good with fastball.
Especially on 3-0 too.
Yeah, something that's hitter friendly.
I mean, even Marcoux, he'll go after it on 3 balls, no strikes, as that barely catches the corner. Hitters count now for Noah Marcoux.
Right at the bottom part of the zone at the knees with that breaking ball.
Here's a fly ball to right field off the bat of Noah Marcoux. Absolute no doubter. Welcome back to the Hoppers, number 5. Marcoux, his 6th home run of the year. 2-1 Hoppers, and they've gone deep twice in this inning.
Yeah, I told you got to be careful. Noah Marcoux with an absolute bomb right over to the stage in right center. He has to feel pretty good about that. A welcome back to him for the Hoppers. He is going to be huge. Come down this home stretch and playoff time here, Tom, and having a bat like him, look out, league. It's going to be dangerous.
Ain't that the truth? Matt Gehrig struck out swinging last time. Takes strike 1 at the belt. I mean, that ball was hammered. Right center field. All Ruiz could do was stare at it, just like Bean did earlier in the inning. Wave and a miss. Gehrig's down 0-2.
Yeah, and Lokinen tried everything he can, just trying to be careful, not trying to throw a meatball over the play, but Marcoux able to find ways to just crush one out of the park.
Well, chin music high and inside. Gehrig stabs out of the way. Couple of long balls in this inning, and that's why this Hopper team is notorious for scoring runs. Swing and a miss. Gehrig goes down on a breaking pitch, lower outer corner. 6 strikeouts. Lokinen a bit frustrated, even after bouncing back with that K.
Yeah, no, it's just been tough, especially with those 2 home runs. And those were in the bottom part of the zone. But the hitter, you got to give credit to Martin and Marcoux for getting at the right place at the right time with the timing and just crushing it out of the ballpark. And those mistakes are going to bound to happen. It's hard to be perfect every time out, and
especially against a team like this. Colin Cornwell swung at the first pitch he saw last time. It was a broken bat ground out to second. He's now down 0-2 quickly from Lokinen. Lefty-lefty matchup.
Especially when you face a guy so many times, the opposing batter is going to make adjustments every time they step up to the plate to see you.
Swing and a miss. Outside nasty slider from Greg Lokinen, picks up strikeout number 6. He Ks the side in the 3rd inning, but not happy with those 2 homers. Bailey Martin and Noah Marcoux both go deep, and that is the 5th third out of the ball game. And with that comes JJ the Water Boy out from right field. He's going to be handing our field umpire some hydration. Going to get a treat in return. JJ, the star of the show here at Jimmy John's Field, all presented by Michigan First Credit Union. And shout out our field umpire tipping his cap and giving JJ a little bit of water as well.
Yeah, he's the star of the show, and he does everything to keep everyone happy here at the ballpark. The fans, the umpires, everyone make it a great place to be here for a Friday night game here at Jimmy John's Field.
2 homers from the Hoppers. They take a 2-1 lead. Pierce Banks onto the mound as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
I'm Anthony Thome, CEO of Thome Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, sun starting to set over the left field line, casting some shadows onto the ball field. And a big inning from the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, scoring 2 runs in the top of the third. And Alex, we just talked about Greg Lokinen getting some run support. That was quickly stymied by the offense on the Hoppers. And now the other side of the coin is Pierce Banks. He's getting himself some big run support with a couple of big flies from Bailey Martin and Noah Marcoux.
Yeah, just a big step up for Pierce Banks after the Beavers got to him on a Pablo Ruiz RBI single that took a hop off of Todd Maddox into the left field grass. He's going to face the 2-3-4 hitters, Bean, Piotrowski, and Burke, the top guys for this Beavers squad over the last few weeks.
Bean hit a hot shot to first his last time up, snagged in the air by Noah Marcoux to rob him of extra bases.
Yeah, it's been a good night for Marcoux. Makes a web jam over at first, and then went yard. Oh, half inning ago. Just hit that one way over right by the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union stage out in right center.
It's a good thing there's not a band out there playing right now, or could have been plunked. The 1-1 to Bean is sent out to center field. In hard comes Rose. He is not going to get there. It's going to drop in for a bloop single. Right off the end of the bat, Bean had to take that pitch on the outside part of the plate and flick it into center field. Leadoff base hit for the Beavers here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, I think Rose was a little bit too back and unable to make the play on it, and that one just dropped right in front of him.
It's the third hit Pierce Banks has given up in this game. Piotrowski a double his last time. They're going to pick over towards Bean. He's a base stealing threat, 5 swiped bags this year. It's good for second most on the team. Has not been caught stealing yet this season. First pitch to Matt is inside for a ball. Such a simple swing, and Matt Piotrowski, a very tall stance, just taps that front foot and lets the hands fly. (1-0), way high, snagged by Hughes. 2 balls, no strikes, and this is the third or fourth count we've seen from Pierce Banks today where he has fallen behind 2-0.
Yeah, that's something we really see from him, and he's just trying to be able to get back into his rhythm as Bean's on the move.
Throw down to second from Hughes. Bang, bang play, but Bean is safe. Stolen bag number 6 on the year for Blake, and the Beavers with another runner in scoring position. Let's see it again.
Yeah, it's another aggressive play as Bean has a huge lead. Hughes looking to get the tag on, but the foot of Bean able to get there just in time.
Martin thought they got him. 3 balls, no strikes now to Piotrowski. Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs. Getting hungry on 3-0. We've seen it from a lot of different guys so far this year. All across 4 teams. 3-1 pitch, grabs the inside corner. We're going to push to full. Good battle back here from Pierce Banks.
Exactly what he needed to do.
Especially after giving up a leadoff single and a stolen base. Banks checks the runner. The 3-2 is pulled fouled on the third base line back towards his own dugout. Nice play from the ball boy down that third base side.
It's going to be crucial here for Banks to get this out here. Need something.
3-2 again. Hot shot over the glove of Maddox again. Into left field. Bean is going to have to put the brakes on at third. And Piotrowski is 2 for 2 once again to start a ball game. Another hard hit ball that took the same bounce that Ruiz's ball did. And Maddox a little bit frustrated as that ball, there's nothing he can do there as it hits the lip of the grass and just bounds right over top of him.
Yeah, the infield grass hasn't been friendly to Maddox here tonight. Fortunately, Bean has to stop at third, so it didn't get in a run. But
we've seen some hard hit balls his way, though. Wilcoxon started the Beavers' day on the offensive side with a hot shot to third base. Ruiz with the RBI single last inning, and now Piotrowski putting runners on first and third with nobody out for Joe Burke.
Yeah, that was just right over the heart of the plate, too. Came off at 99 miles an hour off the bat.
Burke singled to left field last time. The inning was over after his single as Piotrowski was thrown out trying to score, caught in between third and home. Banks is 0-1 to Burke. Swing and a miss. Breaking pitch down and outside. Makes it 0-2 quickly.
Yeah, that's a nasty pitch by Banks, getting him below the zone. Well, like I said, both guys were teammates last year, so they're really familiar with each other. And
fastball upstairs. Gets Burke swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Pierce Banks. Another clutch spot for a strikeout. He had 2 on with nobody out. 2 on with 1 out last inning. Got a strikeout and comes through there against one of the top hitters for this Beaver team.
Yeah, sent him an elevated fastball and got Joe Burke to swing at it. I think it was a little bit fooled to what he was going to throw there. Maybe he was going to throw something off speed, but he goes with the fastball, and Burke, I thought he had a good chance of getting something on it, but didn't.
Likely would have been strike 3 called if Burke didn't go after it, as it just caught the top of the zone. Now Chase Rodriguez, who led off the second with a fly out, will bat with runners on first and third and 1 gone.
Looking to come through here. He did on Sunday with those 2 bombs to right.
One of those a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. 0-2 now to Chase. Rodriguez played ball at Dixie State, Division I in Utah, and then transferred over to Utah Tech University, originally from Las Vegas. The 0-2 is in the dirt.
His 3 homers came in the last 2 games. He also had a home run in the game on Tuesday against the Unicorns, where he had a 2-for-3 outing, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. So he has heated up as of late. As you look at the numbers, 381, has driven in 7 on the year, Tom. And
he's going to foul one back on the 1-2, staying alive against, if not the top pitcher in all of the USPBL in Pierce Banks. It's always tough against when it's a Lokinen-Banks battle. Don't see a ton of runs scoring, but a little bit different today with a couple long balls, and the Beavers also getting a lot of hits here against Banks early on. 1-2 just misses. 2-2.
I thought that was a really good pitch at the top outside part of the plate. Didn't get the call from the home plate umpire.
Yeah, home plate umpire was signaling that ball was a little bit too high. Banks looking for another clutch strikeout with the runner at third. Piotrowski takes off for second base. Hughes' throw down is not in time. The throw back home. Bean is safe. We're tied up at 2 apiece. Blake Bean scores on the steal attempt. Thrown down to Piotrowski at second. Everybody's safe on the diamond.
That's just really good work by the Beavers. But the double steal attempt started off by Piotrowski, able to go. And then Bean able to get the sign from John Dombrowski to go after they make the throw. With Hughes threw it over to second. The throw back home not in time. Even game now.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch is outside. Chase Rodriguez works a 7-pitch walk to put 2 more runners on base in a tie ball game in the 3rd inning. And Bean, he had to make sure that the ball was going all the way down to second base. We've seen in the past, middle infielders will cut the ball off before second, sacrificing the stolen base to second base, stolen bag to second, and then they'll throw home on the cutoff to try to catch the runner scoring, as Bean did. But they let the throw go all the way down that time.
Yeah, you just got to be able to be smart, and that's what John Dombrowski did. Just waited for Piotrowski to get to second, and Bean, with his speed, able to go and able to beat the tag. So still only 1 out.
I've seen it too back in, when I was playing in high school ball and everything, we'd have a first and third play where we'd throw it back to the pitcher, making it look like the catcher was throwing down to second, but it was really cut off by the pitcher, who then got the runner at third in a rundown. As the first pitch is fouled off to Hilbrick. Walked, scored last time. That was back in the second.
And it's a risky play, because even if you do get to steal second, and if you get out at the plate, cost yourself a potential run, and later in the ball game, and how it could impact. But it benefited the Beavers that time, and they've been really aggressive on the base paths, so they've been wanting to go, and it's worked out for them so far here today.
Taking those extra 90 feet going to help this team win some more games. They've been better at that of late. Hilbrick sitting with a 1-1 count. Banks trying to work out of a jam. He's already allowed a run in each of the last 2 innings. Ooh, here's a foul ball that gets the inside thigh or maybe the hand of Whit Hughes behind the dish. That didn't feel good.
Yeah, it was a nasty breaking ball, too, at 70 on the gun. And home plate umpire talking over with Banks right now.
Got to give Hughes some time to shake that off. Great baseball etiquette from our home plate umpire and catcher. Let's see it again. I think this squared him up right in the wrist. He hangs that right hand down on his lap as he goes to receive the ball, and that squared him up.
And not the spot where you want to be in.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the way to Hilbrick. Banks delivers. Tap fouled on the first base line. Banks is having a hard time striking out these Beaver hitters. Rodriguez fouled a few off to work a walk. Piotrowski went to a full count, singled, and now Hilbrick battling with 1-2. Banks checks the runner down at second base. Stevenson in his back pocket. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked up nicely by Whit Hughes. 2 balls and 2 strikes with just 1 out.
Yeah, good play by Hughes. Just pick up the ball and making sure the runners stay intact, as that one did not go to the backstop. That's a play you got to have from your leader behind the dish. Can't let that one go by you. Need to limit the damage here after the Beavers have tied it up after you got 2 long balls to take the lead.
Full count. That pitch high above the zone at the shoulders of Hilbrick. He has worked back from a 1-2 count. And all the pressure now on Pierce Banks and these Hoppers. 2 on, 1 out, 1 run scored in the inning. We're tied up at 2. Ray skies one in the air, left side. Going to get out of play, foul on a bounce. Nobody really able to get over there, either Cornwell or Maddox. Also, how about the pitch count right now for Pierce Banks? These Beavers are doing a really nice job of making Pierce throw a ton of pitches. He's approaching 65 through 2 1/3.
Yeah, they're making him work at it with long counts. And it's going to put a sign here to Ryan Cockey really soon on how far he's going to go because of these lengthy at-bats. And
we'll do it again. Hilbrick, another foul ball. And you're right, it's decision time in the next few innings. You don't want Pierce to get into the 80s, 90s, maybe even 100 pitches by the 5th inning. They might have to make a move earlier than they would like just because of the pitch count. Hilbrick stays alive again, channeling his inner Barry Gibb with that foul ball.
And he's just been battling. He has to do it in this situation. Anything he can get. Wants to try to work himself, get on base. He has Ortega waiting in the on-deck circle.
3-2 pitches, down low, ball 4. Tip your cap to Ray Hilbrick. What an at-bat. Back-to-back walks here for Pierce Banks. The second time he has done that in this game. And the bases are loaded with just 1 gone for the defending home run champion.
And this is an important opportunity for the Beavers to really open the gates here. You got Ortega coming up here. Those are 3 long balls on the season. And we take a look at the bases loaded opportunities for the Beavers and for Ortega in his 3rd at bat. The team as a whole, 6 for 25. So this is an important opportunity for them to cash in on a few runs.
Ortega walked last time, now swings down to a knee. 0-2.
The goal for Ortega is to get at least 1 or 2 runs.
Just try to take this lead back. Beavers took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning thanks to Pablo Ruiz. 2 solo homers from the Hoppers in the top of the 3rd. It gave them a 2-1 lead. And Blake Bean scored on a stolen base from Matt Piotrowski as Ortega flicks it out of play. And that's how we're tied at 2. And the Beavers really putting pressure on here. After Piotrowski singled and stole a bag, he's over at 3rd. And back-to-back walks to Rodriguez and Hilbrick have loaded him up.
And this next pitch is going to be number 70 for Banks.
Wow.
I know, crazy, right?
Ortega waiting on the 0-2. It just misses down and away. That was on the corner. Whit Hughes could not get the call behind the dish. And the at-bat continues.
Yeah, just smart play by Ortega to lay that one off.
1-2 to Ortega. He went around. Strike 3. Strikeout number 2 of the inning. Number 3 on the day for Banks. And they're an out away from getting out of the jam with just 1 run scored.
Yeah, that is just huge by Banks. Ortega went a little too far on that 79-mile-per-hour pitch. Infield umpire knew he crossed over the line and run him up.
Our TrackMan stats brought to us by lead baseball analytics intern Devin Wiles shows us that one was just a little bit high and outside. So if Ortega laid off, there's a good chance they would have walked in a run, or the at-bat would have continued to 2-2. But in a situation like that, you got the bases loaded, high-pressure situation. You want to try to swing. He just couldn't hold up.
Yeah, you don't want to try to do too much. You know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, like I got to get at least a run in.
There's a ball back to the backstop. Hughes recovers in time, and the ball got there a little too quickly, and Pietrowski had no time to score.
Yeah, in most ballparks, you know, that would have been an easy run, but here, you know, how short the backstop is.
Yeah, just 25 feet from home plate to the padding.
And going back to my other comment, like you try to do too much as you're a batter in these bases loaded situations, you would want to try to be a hero, but
1-1 to Stefanovic is lined into left field, over the head of Cornwell, all the way to the wall. Pietrowski scores, coming around Rodriguez. Holding up at third is Ray Hilbrick. 2 out, clutch double from Rocco Stefanovic, and it's 4-2 Beavers here in the 3rd inning.
Great job by Stefanovic, able to get that fastball. Got a good piece of hitting on that, went over the head of Cornwell. Did his job, drove in 2 huge runs to give the Beavers a lead back. That's just excellent work by your man behind the dish. You have to go on a decent way there to get to it.
Boys, can we get a tight shot on the left fielder that is not Colin Cornwell? I do not think. I don't think that might be Ferguson. I can't tell. Just, I guess, make sure it's Cornwell because I don't think that's him. It looks a little tall. First pitch is outside to Pablo Ruiz. He had an RBI single his last time up. 4-2 Beavers. Rocco Stefanovic comes up clutch with 2 gone. That's also the 6th hit that Pierce Banks has given up this year, and that's Ben Ferguson out there in left field instead of Colin Cornwell. So Ferguson out there in left now in place. Did not catch that earlier this inning.
Ruiz now in a 2-1 count, had that RBI single in the 2nd. Maybe take a look at the other outfielders as well.
Down at 2nd is Stefanovic. At 3rd is Hilbrick. The 2-1 pitch. High pop up. Gonna get out of play. Nice catch from a fan. Ruiz dialed into his at-bat, though. He's looking to clutch up just like Ronco did. And that's one thing that had plagued the Beavers all year long was clutch swings with 2 outs, and their catcher comes through in a big spot.
That's especially what you have to have, you know, with 2 outs. Want to be able to cash in.
2-2, popped up right side. Marcoux, does he have room over near his dugout? Makes the catch for out number 3. Big inning for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Bean comes in to score on a stolen base, and Rocco Stefanovic, 2-run double with 2 outs to give the Beavers a 4-2 lead. We've played 3 innings of baseball. Beavers have the advantage. We go to the 4th. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
4-2 lead for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here on a firework Friday night, Olympics night at the ballpark. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the US PBL Network. And Ben Ferguson, he will lead off the inning in place of Zeb Rose. Colin Cornwell, who was in left field last inning, or sorry, the first 2 innings was subbed in by Ferguson, but Ben will hit in the spot of Zeb. Swing and a miss, or swing and a tap foul, 0-1.
Because we know that Zeb Rose got hit by a pitch and then he stole second. So we'll see if Ryan Cockey was just taking a look at him, just being cautious and taking him out of the ball game.
Make it 1-1. Ferguson, no start today, but comes into the game fairly early. 1-1 pitch is grounded up the middle, snagged by the pitcher Lokinen. Hops off the mound, tosses to Burke. 1 up, 1 down as he steals that ground ball away from Ferguson. Might have had a hit, but pitchers are athletes too, man.
Just got on 1 hop, right back over to Lokinen, and a little jump for it. Just make the throw over to Burke for the out. It's a good play to start the inning. You really want a quick inning if you're Lokinen. The pitch count right now close to 60 through 3 1/3.
He was a little frustrated coming off the mound at the end of the third after giving up 2 homers. He's looking to right his wrongs as Schellenbarger fouls off the first pitch. And that's a nice play from Lokinen as his body is falling off down the third base side, and that ball was hit that way. If he was a right-handed pitcher, it would have been a lot harder for him to get that ball.
Yeah, it would have been, but he did his job as a lefty to make that play, have that advantage over to him, and
ball called upstairs, 1-1.
I hope I don't jinx myself here. Well, with the Beavers able to get 3 runs in that last half inning to get the lead. Some more support here for Lokinen.
Let's see if Banks can get that same support as he's given up 6 hits in his first 3 innings. 1-2 as that's a called strike on the outside corner to Bryant. His birthday coming up on June 30th. And that pitch a little bit inside. Schellenbarger ducking out of the way. 2-2.
And that, what you had in mind there was Lokinen.
Also, Greg at 60 pitches, too. Both of our starters today have had pretty long outings. Another foul ball. Keep it at 2-2. Something we don't usually see from Banks or Lokinen. Usually they're very efficient. They get guys out quickly. Around this time, they'd be sitting around 40, maybe 50 pitches. But today, both teams have had a plan, and they've executed perfectly.
Yeah, it's a different story every game. It's a game of adjustments, and the offense have had as Schellenbarger goes down swinging.
2 gone. Another strikeout for Lokinen and make it 7. Sorry, 8. Struck out the side in the 3rd inning.
But nonetheless, he's done his job so far. Able to limit the damage, besides those 2 home runs. And that's really about it. He's been in control, just a couple of mistakes.
Maddox flares the first pitch back to the screen. He struck out swinging. The 7, 8, 9 batters have all struck out against Lokinen here today. Big swings coming from the leadoff man, Bailey Martin. Noah Marcoux, the 3-hitter. 0-1 from Greg. Outside corner just misses.
And you know, as a pitcher, that especially in this league where you see guys so many times throughout the course of the season, they get comfortable with you, get used to what you're going to throw and where you're going to throw at. And the thing you're going to do here is what you're going to do the next time come out. What are you going to do differently? And Lokinen has done his job of knowing his bullpen work, this past week, and what he's going to do, especially with his off-speed pitches and where he's going to throw at to fool the hitters.
He's making adjustments in game. That's definitely an intangible that not everybody has, but if you can do it, I mean, going to have a lot more success. That pitch misses outside. 2-2 with 2 outs to the 3rd baseman, Todd Maddox.
Yeah, that's just a difficult task, but he's a guy that is able to do that really well. And
the 2-2 is a called strike 3 at the top of the zone. Greg Lokinen, 9 strikeouts as he sits down the Hoppers 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. A nasty breaking ball at the top of the zone. 62 total strikeouts on the year for the lefty of the Beavers.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier. That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Beavers with a 4-2 advantage. Some fans hanging out on the berm waiting for the Firework Friday that will take place right after our game today. Pierce Banks will be back on the mound for the Hoppers as they trail by 2 runs. Banks has given up a lot of hits so far, 6 of them through 3 innings, and that's because of how well these Beavers have been hitting it. We talked pregame, Alex. This Beaver team has been revamped since the beginning of the year, and they're showing it right now against the top pitcher in the league.
Yeah, they really have so far. Came out with a huge 2-out hit off the bat of Ranko Savanovic for a 2-run double into left center, and it's just really huge so far for this Beavers team. Looking to find ways to sneak back into the top 3 in this league. They've worked a lot as a unit, throughout their off days, working at different facilities to get themselves better, on both sides of the plate, and that's something that they have really worked on, and they worked as a unit.
Ben Wilcoxon will bat for the 3rd time. A couple of groundouts today, 1 to third, 1 to shortstop. Also some defensive changes from last inning that we'll get to as Wilcoxon pokes it out to left field. Ferguson is over there to field it on a bounce. Leadoff single here for the Beavers. So Ferguson is out and left. Zeb Rose is done for the day, and Colin Cornwell has moved from left field to center.
Good job by your leadoff man, Wilcoxon, and your captain to start off the inning on the right foot, getting yourself on base with a bloop single into left. But a really good piece, to this ball club, and it shows why.
Blake Bean fouls off the first pitch back towards the parking lot. 1 for 2, excuse me, for Bean. Scored last inning after a single and a stolen base. Hit the ball hard his first time on a line shot to first that Noah Marcoux made a highlight play on. Also Wilcoxon, high base stealing threat right here. He's gone 6 times, has been caught once. Strike 2.
Yeah, good nasty pitch with that breaking ball in the top part of the strike zone. And the Beavers in general, like you mentioned, they've been aggressive all day. They like going at it.
Continue to do so. Hughes has not thrown anybody out yet today, as there's been now 3 stolen bases for the Beavers.
And you got to do that to be successful and take those chances. Get yourself in a better position to win ball games. And the Beavers have done that here so far. They've gotten 7 hits and 4 runs.
0-2 to Bean is fouled off, gets a piece of the home plate umpire on his foot. Hughes will give him a moment. And there's the give and take right there. You see Hughes gets squared up in the wrist with a foul ball, and now the home plate umpire catches one in the toe, and they each give each other an extra second to shake it off.
Yeah, that's what you got to have, especially on a play like that. Why don't you get yourself a moment to get back into it after that ball comes at you.
Bean holds the hands low, now cocks them up high over the shoulder. The 0-2 pitch. Broken bat, shot to second base, could be 2. Martin kicks over to Stevenson. Throw to first is in time. A 4-6-3 double play wipes away the leadoff single from Wilcoxon.
Yeah, that's just really good work. What you see here just took a good bounce. Martin able to take his time on it to make the accurate play. That's exactly what the Hoppers needed. couldn't afford another lengthy inning. Got yourself into 2 outs, looking to face the minimum here with Matt Piotrowski.
Yeah, definitely did not want to spend another 15, 20 minutes out on the field. They'd rather do it in the dugout. So the first pitch to Matt Piotrowski is in the dirt, 1-0.
And he's over 85 pitches for 3 2/3. You can't afford to let him go any longer in this inning.
There's some light stretching going in the Hopper bullpen. Piotrowski makes it 1-1. But no throwing or, I guess, getting hot for any reliever out there for the Hoppers right now. And what a day Matt has had. 2 for 2, scored after his single last inning, and doubled back in the first.
And we'll see if Banks will go one more inning. His pitch count will most likely be over 100 after the next inning.
He's given up 7 hits, after that Wilcoxon single. And also 4 walks. It's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count goes even, 2 apiece. 4 more meetings between these two teams to finish out the year. We'll see a rematch on Sunday between these two. Alex Johnson, myself, Tom Cavanaugh on the call for that as well. Piotrowski flicks it out of play again on the 2-2, staying alive. And that's one thing that the Beavers have done really well with today, is fighting with 2 strikes and fouling off a ton of pitches to extend innings and extend that pitch count for Banks.
Yeah, that's exactly what they had in mind, and they've been executing that really well, especially when you are facing an ace on the opposing side. You want to be able to get him out of the game early and force him to go to the bullpen.
You don't go to a full count.
You don't want to wait till the 8th inning to see the bullpen. You want to be able to get to them as quickly as possible, and the Beavers have done their part, put themselves in a position to win as Piotrowski continues to battle.
He's doing a great job. Hughes takes another baseball on the skin, away from the padding and the protective gear. Not the best spot to get hit right there.
Yeah, that's just not what you want to be, as Hughes just takes another moment to breathe and get back behind the dish. Hopefully he just needs one more strike to get out of this.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a 4-2 lead for the Beavers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch is on the way. Piotrowski sends it into center field. Cornwell back a few steps, makes the catch for out number 3. Banks rolls a double play and gets Piotrowski to line out to end the inning. We've played 4 here in downtown Utica at Jimmy John's Field. The Beavers with a 4-2 lead over the Hoppers. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Whit Hughes will get us started here in the 5th inning. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. What a crowd on hand today for a Firework Friday and Olympics night here at the ballpark.
And nothing can beat that. Fans always love coming out here on Fridays, for the fireworks show, the place to be here in downtown Utica. And last weekend of July and summer going to be coming down to the wire in just a few weeks as we get back into back-to-school season. Fans are enjoying the last few weeks of summer they have.
College leagues are finishing up in the next week or so, minus the Northwoods and Cape. But we still roll on with independent baseball from the USPBL all throughout August and into September. Whit Hughes swings and misses at the first pitch from Greg Lokinen, who's eyeing down his 10th strikeout of the day.
He has been a workhorse so far. Just a couple of long balls have stepped him back, but nonetheless, he's been dominant here so far, and everyone is eyeing on making it to that championship game on Saturday night, September 7th.
Hughes pulls it foul on the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And got to give credit to the offense here for the Beavers. I mean, Lokinen was not happy after giving up those 2 homers, and his offense replied quickly with 3 runs to give him the lead right back to pitch with.
Yeah, that's really well done and really well managed by the Beavers up at the plate.
There's number 10, Greg Lokinen. 3 straight strikeouts. My goodness, he now has 63 on the year through 55 1/3 innings.
Just impressive work, Tom. He has just been unstoppable tonight. That one off speed, below the zone, able to get Hughes to swing and miss.
And he mixes the pitches so well. I mean, starting off there with a slide piece that drops in on the lower part of the zone at the knees for strike 1, and then he'll go fastball that rides out, and then he'll go inside with another breaking pitch at the feet. So many different pitches he'll throw at you, and that last one that he gave over to Hughes, that was a nice change piece that just dove right down at the feet.
Yeah, just really good work by Lokinen to mix up the pitches, keep the hitters off balance, and that really makes yourself, and it's a difference maker between a good pitcher and a great pitcher. And you see what Lokinen has done here, but he has to be careful because Bailey Martin sent one out into left center his last time up for the first homer of the game.
350-foot bomb to left center field. Here's a chopper to third. Ortega fields it on the run. Quick gun to first, has 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, not a lot of contact on that one. Is just an easy pickup for Ortega.
It's outside part of the zone. Martin just swung around it. Easy play for Christian.
Got Grant Stevenson now, who's having 0 for 2 night.
It's also 7 straight retired for Lokinen on the bump since that Marcoux home run back in the 3rd. Strike 1 called to Stevenson.
You just really hope he gets in. He keeps up with this rhythm, Tom. You want him to be able to go at least at this rate 2 more innings.
Pitch count is high, but this inning, if he gets out of it quickly, could definitely savor that. 76 pitches through 4 2/3. And down at 0-2 almost immediately is Grant Stevenson.
Well, he went 6 innings in his last outing. At this rate, maybe you go 6 1/3, maybe 7, depending on how everything else goes. But
there's some light stretching in the bullpen for the Beavers, and now some throwing in the Hopper bullpen. It's going to be decision time for both head coaches. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Stevenson skies it in the air to center. Rodriguez in a few steps, makes the catch, and he'll put that in his back pocket for out number 3. 1-2-3 frame for Greg Lokinen, the 2nd straight inning that he has done that. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 lead for the Beavers here on the USPBL Network.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, we've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Joe Burke will come to bat to lead off for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, but we have a new man on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Pierce Banks' day is done. It is now the winningest pitcher in the USPBL with a 6-1 record, John Kelly.
Yeah, he's been really well out of the pen for Coach Ryan Cockey. Look at his numbers so far. In 9 appearances, 34 innings pitched, ERA at 3.97, 22 punch outs compared to 18 walks for the 5'11", 200-pound righty out of Rutherford, New Jersey. Spent the time at a couple Division I schools at Coastal Carolina and Oklahoma State. He's going to look to do the job here to keep the score where it's at and hope the offense can pick it up here late in the ball game. He's a guy that has been phenomenal, and a key piece why to the Hoppers have been so strong this season. And you take a look at what pitches he throws. He throws a slider about 54% of the time, Tom. He'll throw in his four-seamer 23%. He has a sinker they'll throw in as well, and maybe on a rare occasion a breaking ball and a changeup to mix up his pitches. So he uses 3 for the most, but he has 2 others in his back pocket they might use to fool the hitters and keep them off balance. And especially in this game like this where you're at the halfway point, so you still got some time to work with for the offense, but you don't want to wait till it's too late. Lokinen will probably throw at least another inning or 2.
Yeah, I like him too, considering he's retired 8 straight since that Marcoux home run. Also, the final line for Pierce Banks, he goes 4 innings, gives up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. Not the best day for Pierce, but hopefully his offense can come through for him.
Yeah, well, those days are bound to happen for Banks. Just not what he wanted to happen, what he expected it to be here tonight. But there's some time for his offense to pick him back up and try to get a comeback victory here. But it starts here with Kelly on the bump to retire the middle part of the order. Burke, Rodriguez, and Hilbrick to get the offense back up to bat quickly and stop Greg Lokinen.
Burke, Rodriguez, and Hilbrick here in the 5th inning. First pitch from John Kelly, outside at 85 miles an hour. 1 for 2 today for Burke. Singled back in the 1st inning, then struck out swinging in the 3rd. Line drive fouled on the 3rd base line. Burke's going to need a new piece of lumber. That bat broke. And it's not a split in half. It's just a crack right down the seam of the bat, and you could kind of hear it. So he'll take that long walk back that we've seen too many times.
Yeah, it just feels like an eternity for these hitters, to get back to the dugout.
And shout out Ruiz, exchanging bats for him, saving him a few extra steps. 1 ball, 1 strike to Burke. As you mentioned, a 4-year guy in this league.
He's been around here. He coming over from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Spent his college days over at Kentucky Wesleyan College. A couple of guys in this league, including Ben Wilcoxon, have also played over at Kentucky Wesleyan.
1-1 from Kelly, pulled on the ground in the 5-6 hole for a single. 2 for 3 day now for Joe Burke as he finds a seeing eye single into left field to start the 5th. And that's the 3rd straight inning, Alex, that the Beavers have had a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, that really starts things off here, and you get it with a guy like Burke, the veteran guy, finding a hole between 3rd and short. That's just good vision there, and just placing it down through, getting your leadoff man on, and looking to add on to this 2-run lead that you have.
That ball was on the very inner part of the plate, and Burke went and got his barrel there in time. Jace Rodriguez looks at ball number 1 upstairs. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored for Rodriguez. Walked and scored back in the 3rd. That's where they scored a crooked number, 3 runs in that inning as Rodriguez yanks it foul just past first base coach Julian Pichardo. See, a lot of times relief pitchers or some starting pitchers with a day off will hang out and patrol first base as the coach down there.
Yeah, filling in for Nick Caruso tonight over at first base.
Kelly checks the runner. This ball's in the dirt. Hughes blocks it up. And Kelly, one of the unorthodox looks to first base as he looks behind him. It looks like he's looking at second, but actually his peripheral is catching the runner at first instead of tipping the head downwards to look to his left. Here's the 2-1. Backdoor pitch does not catch the zone. 3-1 now to Chase Rodriguez, who has been red hot lately.
He has, and the Hoppers have to make note of it, especially what he's done the last few games. All of his homers have come in this past week.
Here's the 3-1. Ball 4, down and away. Not missing by much was John Kelly. And the first two batters are aboard here for the Beavers to start the fifth.
It was a tad low, the bottom part of the plate, and it was a good eye by Rodriguez. And this is something that the Beavers have worked for. They have been really disciplined at the plate as well.
It's the fifth walk that Beaver hitters have drawn today. Ray Hilbrick is 0 for 0. Speaking of walks, has a pair of them today as he takes strike one.
And those kind of plate appearances make an impact. Because if you're getting guys on base, you know, it really could impact the rest of the ball game. And not going down swinging or going after pitchers forcefully. And got to give credit to them here for doing that and being in this spot. Trying to tack on a few more here is Hilbrick.
He grinded through his last at-bat. 8 total pitches as Hilbrick fouls this one off to make it 1-2. But I mean, that was the decider. That was one of those at-bats that Ray Hilbrick had back in the third against Pierce Banks that kind of just decided what type of day Pierce was going to have. And it wasn't really his fault. Ray continued to battle pitch after pitch. And after 8 pitches, you know, Pierce was able to walk him. But I mean, Ray's really put together some good ABs today as it now moves to 2-2.
Yeah, exactly what you got to do here, especially when you're facing one of the top pitchers in this league and having those kind of at-bats, making those guys work through it, 8, 9, 10 pitches, getting them tired really quickly and making them throw a mistake at you and taking advantage of it.
Staying alive again, Ray Hilbrick. And it's just the type of hitter he is, man. Sees the ball well, and even though he's not putting the ball in play there, he's still getting a piece, extending at-bats, making Kelly work for this.
And not making himself an easy out.
He never has been. Close stance. Keeps the bat in close, a little bit low, near the chest. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball left field. Coming over Ferguson. Will he have room? No, he runs out as the bullpen catcher nearly makes the catch. Looks like Jacob Pennington down there in the bullpen getting warm. Beavers could go to the bullpen next inning, but with Lokinen retiring the last 8, it could be in the cards that he goes back out for another one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. A couple runners on here for the Beavers with a 2-run lead in the 5th. Hilbrick, another foul ball out of play down the left field line.
It's been another battle.
It's got to be frustrating as a pitcher on the mound because you're giving Hilbrick all your best stuff, executing pitches perfectly, but he's just getting a little bit to stay alive.
Anything he can do, making you work for it to get himself out.
2-2 is high and inside. Just a little bit inside, not high. We're going to push to a 3-2 full count. A base hit from Joe Burke led off the inning. Chase Rodriguez then walked on 5 pitches, and it's been a battle for Ray Hilbrick.
We'll see if he wins again here. Maybe this time try to get something through the air on the ground.
Ball 4 high. Hilbrick is 0 for 0 with 3 walks today. John Kelly wants to offer to the field. He did not go. Back-to-back walks here for John Kelly. Now loads the bases after the Burke base hit.
And Hilbrick once again showing himself that I'm just going to be smart at the plate. I'm not going to swing something at it that's going to be outside the zone or maybe inside, but you're going to make me work for it to get me out. You're going to have to work for it. And 3 unsuccessful times here by the Hoppers here tonight, and all of them on the base on balls, but
ball 1 is low to Christian Ortega. Second straight at-bat that he has come to the dish with the bases loaded. Struck out swinging last time. 1-0 is outside. And those are some incredible at-bats for Ray Hilbrick his last 2 times up. I know he's got 3 walks, but those last 2 have just been game-changing, extending the inning, leading to more runs. Ortega's 2-0 pitch, high and inside. Did it catch a piece? No. Barely getting out of the way. Ortega moves to 3-0, and now Kelly staring down the barrel right here.
Yeah, just got out of the way of that just in time, and this could be frustrating for a pitcher when you battle through 10-plus pitches in that bat and you lose like that.
Got to throw a strike here on 3-0. Splits the plate, 3-1.
This is an important spot. With the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th, and a 2-run ball game. The Beavers can really open things up here with one swing of the bat and really run away with it.
3-1 pitch. High, ball 4, gets past Hughes. Burke will score on the bases loaded walk, and the Beavers extend their lead 5-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here comes head coach Ryan Kotke out of the Hoppers dugout as there's more stretching going on in the Eastside bullpen.
Yeah, not the command that Kelly has wanted here so far, as Coach Kotke is going to have a word with him and the rest of the infield. Just try to get a plan of attack to limit the damage as much as possible. Just trying to get a double play ball, and they'll maybe let up another run on the board, but just try to get yourself out of the inning as quickly as you can. And you don't want to get things to get ugly here. You don't want to find yourself down 5-6 runs.
It's still manageable right now. I mean, obviously, the Hoppers went deep twice in 1 inning to lead to those 2 runs. But they can score in bunches. And if you can keep the game close, they always got a good chance. It's just when you have a big inning where the opposing team scores 5, 6, 7 runs that things can really tumbleweed out of control, and you don't really have a shot to come back with limited innings to play with. Head coach Ryan Kotke off the field after a conversation with Kelly. I feel like John overthrowing just a little bit right now after that base hit to Burke. He has walked 3 in a row. Also, that was Ortega's 6th RBI of the year with that bases loaded walk. Hopper infield in. Ranko Stefanovic. He takes ball 1 high and inside. Huge swing from Ranko last time. 2-run double.
Yeah, that was really important to build onto this lead, and Stefanovic looking to come through again here with the bases juiced.
Here's a line shot to shortstop underneath the glove of Stevenson. Coming around third and scoring will be Rodriguez. Hilbrick to the dish. 2-run base hit for Ranko Stefanovic. We'll see if they count it as a hit or an error. It will be a hit. Ranko's got 4 RBIs in his last 2 at-bats. What a day for the Beaver catcher.
It looked like it was just going to be on the ground over to Stevenson, but that grass, has not been kind to the Hoppers infielders here today, and that could have been a double play and got a run on the board, but instead you get nothing out of it.
3 more runs in the 5th inning against John Kelly for these Beavers. Pablo Ruiz takes ball 1 outside. And how about this? 6 of the 7 runs today for this Beaver team have come from the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Bottom of the order has come through today. Swing and a miss. Back pick to first. Nice stop from Marcoux to save that ball from going into right field.
You can't afford to let that one get by you. Marcoux making the stop. Would have had runners on 2nd and 3rd. But it's really huge. That bottom of the order has stepped up here for the Beavers here tonight. And they've added 3 more here in this frame alone. And
there goes Ortega. He gets third base with ease. He read Kelly, and that's a ball high. Sorry to cut you off, Alex. He went in the middle of that pitch right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try to get him picked off.
Well, Kelly was already starting his motion to home plate, and he actually looked at Ortega in the middle of his leg kick. So he couldn't go anywhere but home plate, and that's why it was a ball. Count now moves to 3-1. Well done from Christian Ortega, man. I mean, he read John Kelly when he sets. How many seconds does John Kelly sit there for, and is it the same timing every single pitch? It was, and that's what led Ortega to take third.
Yeah, just a heads-up play. You got to give him credit to that, and now the bases are loaded again.
Yep, another walk. 4th this inning for Kelly and the Hoppers. down to third was Ortega, Stefanovic to second, and now the Hopper bullpen will need to hurry it up a little bit.
Yeah, this is not the inning they had in mind, and the deficit is increasing here for Eastside. Trailing by 5 now. Haven't gone an out recorded here yet.
First pitch to Wilcoxon, gets away from Hughes. Nowhere to go for Ortega. He thought about it, but Kelly was crashing into home plate. He would have been out.
Yeah, this is a wise choice to go back. John Dabrowski tell him, hey, don't run yourself into an out here. Stay put. That's just good work by Hughes to just keep everyone in check, and especially at this point in the ball game.
Ortega's at third, Stefanovic at second, Ruiz over at first. The 1-0. Ground ball to second base. Bobbled by Martin, throw to second. That's the only play they can have. Stevenson kicks the bag at 2 for the force out. Ruiz is out, but another run scores. Ortega crosses the plate to make it 8-2 Beavers in the 5th.
Yeah, it was just bobbled off of Martin. And could have had a chance at turn 2, but that second of that bobble just cost them another out. But at least they were able to get the force at second, though.
Runners on first and third now. Wilcoxon could go as Bean swings hard and fouls off the first pitch.
And he's the 8th man to bat here in this inning, Tom. And this has not been looking good so far. And
those 4 walks really just spinning this inning out of control right now for the Hoppers. The 0-1 is outside, leveling the count at 1 apiece. Matt Pietrowski waits on deck. He will be the 9th batter if we get to that point. Wilcoxon takes off. Hughes, his throw down. In time, they got him. Whit Hughes throws out his first runner of the day, cutting down Wilcoxon, trying to take second. There's now 2 outs with a runner at third base.
It's just important there for Hughes to make that play right on the money over to Grant Stevenson to get the tag on Wilcoxon.
Stevenson caught a little bit short of second base, had to reach back and apply the tag. 2-1 to Bean, fouled away. Blake is 1 for 3 today, grounded into a double play his last time, singled and scored back in the 3rd. Guy that plays the game the right way, patrols left field better than anybody in the league. And he makes contact a whole heck of a lot with a lot of power. The 2-2 outside.
We'll see if they can add on more with another runner in scoring position. They've already got 4 across the plate this inning. Pietrowski is the only man not to bat so far this inning.
Bean gets a piece. At bat extends 3-2. Just going to say Harry Orth is down there in the Hopper bullpen getting warm. He would likely be the next pitcher in. And also, Greg Lokinen's been sitting on the bench for quite a while. There's a chance he might not come back out after a stellar last few innings.
And especially with the run support that the Beavers have had, they've opened things up. Have a 6-run lead.
Bean lines one to third, caught by Maddox for out number 3. Nice swing from Blake, trying to extend the lead even further. A 4-run 5th inning frame makes it 8-2 Birmingham Bloomfield. We go to the 6th. Hoppers down by a bunch. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
Big shout out to our first base cameraman and broadcaster we've had in the booth, Dom Minchella. He does everything around here at the USPBL, working the cameras. He's up doing graphics, directing our broadcasts, and he's also joined me in the booth earlier this year. Gotta love what Dom and the rest of the crew bring to the table, and they do a great job all year long as we go to the 6th inning.
Yeah, they always do a great job, Dom, keeping us and our production crew and everyone else in check, and all of our interns have done a phenomenal job throughout the course of the season. And going back over to Greg Lowe, has on the mound. There's only 2 hits allowed. Both of those were the home runs, but looking at that 10 strikeouts through 5 innings, that is really impressive. He is pulling away from Pierce Banks over the strikeout lead in the season so far in the USPBL.
He struck out 2 in the first. He struck out 2 in the second. He then struck out the side in the third. 2 more punch-outs in the fourth, and he finished the 5th with 1 more. I mean, he's been on fire, and the Beavers' offense has really come together, especially doing the right now. Ranko Stefanovic, 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. He's had a heck of a day at the dish.
Yeah, just good to see him, and he's been happy. I was talking with him before the game and how this game was going to go, and they were just really well. Had a really good week of practice. Felt really confident after having that walk-off win on Sunday to get some momentum back, and they found themselves here right now with 8 more here tonight. And this offense has been clicking as of late, and it's great to see. And looking to get back on track, in the record-wise, heading into the home stretch of the season.
2-2 pitch on the way to Marcoux in just a moment. Cannot grab the outside corner. That was ball 4, excuse me. That was the 3-2 pitch. So a leadoff walk here for Greg Lokinen as Noah Marcoux aboard.
Yeah, just had him ahead in the count, but lost him on the last 4 and gets the leadoff man on.
Gehrig's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts today, both swinging. 8 runs on 9 hits for these Beavers, just 2 runs on 2 hits for the Hoppers. Lokinen's 0-1, swing and a miss. Gehrig fooled on that one very late on the breaking pitch, nothing in 2.
Yeah, just filthy from Lokinen. Able to mix that one up and able to send that one perfectly right down the heart of the middle. Gehrig fooled on that one.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 11 for Greg Lokinen. Sits down Gehrig for the 3rd time in this game. 1 on, 1 out for Colin Cornwell.
He went back with went breaking ball in the pitch before, and that one goes back with a fastball at 88.
As we talked about it earlier, the pitch sequencing and just mixing up the heads of these Hopper hitters. They don't know what's coming. Cornwell takes ball 1 outside. Stefanovic tried to bring it back in the zone. 0 for 2 day for Colin. Grounded out back in the 2nd, then struck out swinging in the 3rd. Moved from left field over to center back in the 3rd inning. 1-0, same spot outside.
And it's going to take a lot for Eastside to get back into this game and into the later stages of this one, Tom, trailing by 6. Besides the 2 long balls in the 3rd, they've been held quiet offensively, and
they really have. I mean, you make a mistake against this Hopper team, most of the time they're going to have loud swings for you. Like a guy like Marcoux and especially Bailey Martin jumping out with his 2nd home run. But other than that, you love what you've seen from Lokinen. And that's a strike on the top of the zone, 3-1. Alex, we mentioned earlier, is Lokinen going to respond positively after that rough 3rd? And boy, has he.
He has. And with the 11 punch-outs here tonight, and just his offense is riding behind him and just keeping things in control after being on the bench for a long amount of time. Listen, that long inning that the Beavers had.
And that might be playing a role right now. Lokinen has now walked 2 of the last 3 hitters. Before that, he had retired 8 in a row, spanning from the 3rd to the 5th inning. And now it's Marcoux down at 2nd and Cornwell over at 1st with 1 out for Ben Ferguson. This is not the guy you want at the plate in this situation.
Chance to chip away.
Ferguson, fly ball left center field. Not deep, coming over Rodriguez, sliding and making the catch. Chase Rodriguez stealing away a hit from Ben Ferguson. What a play from the center fielder of the Beavers. One more time.
Yeah, he read that perfectly. It was running also into the Blake Bean, able to read him off and making that play. Rodriguez sliding in for it.
It looked like some synchronized swimming. You know, we got the Olympics going on, or sorry, synchronized diving. That's my favorite sport I like to watch. Those, I mean, it's incredible what they can do. 2 outs now with 2 on for Bryant Schellenbarger.
Yeah, it takes a lot of training to get to the Olympics and all the hours and years they work to get to that point. You got to give credit.
Have to. 1-0 pitch to Schellenbarger is upstairs. When they get those opportunities, they shine, especially here in the United States. Really excited to see what all of our athletes across every single different sport will be able to do, see if they can hoist a medal.
And that's something you dream of when you get to the Olympics and able to stand up at the podium with the gold medal. And even if you're able to get bronze or silver, I know you want to be able to get to the top, but even placing, in the top 3 is something you'll remember forever. And
3 balls, no strikes now to Schellenbarger. Lokinen in jeopardy of walking his 3rd this inning. Schellenbarger swings at the 3-0, center field. Rodriguez is there, makes the catch for out number 3. And Lokinen's able to get out of the jam after 2 walks in the 6th. That could be the end of the day for him, and if it is, what a day. 11 strikeouts on 3 hits. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-2 lead for the Beavers, and Chase Rodriguez flashing some leather.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
The Hoppers will dip back into their bullpen here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Piotrowski will lead things off. Orth onto the mound, making his 5th appearance of the year, 4th in relief.
And take a look at the man from Kenosha, Wisconsin, who spent his college ball days at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, making his 5th appearance on the season for the Hoppers. Has played in 5 innings so far, 7 punch-outs, 1 walk, ERA above 5 in the limited action so far. But we'll take a look at the stat line here so far, and it's just been really strong here to see. He's only allowed 3 runs through those 5 frames, but he's coming through with a task of just trying to just have a quick inning of work, get the offense back up to the plate with the outs remaining they have. And it's not been the day the Hoppers wanted to be, especially with their ace on the bump with Pierce Banks, but the Beavers have had their number here today and really.
Yeah, they had a plan and they executed to perfection through those first 4 innings. And then they came through against John Kelly, who helped them out with 4 walks, but Ranko Stefanovic chipped in with another big swing. And that was kind of the inning that pulled them out of it. You know, sitting there with an out in the 5th, the Hoppers had a chance to kind of close it out and only have it be a 3-run deficit. And then things started to kind of spin out of control, as it was a 4-run 5th and an 8-2 lead now for the Beavers. Matt Piotrowski making his 4th appearance at the plate today. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a double, a run scored and a stolen base.
Yeah, good numbers for him here tonight, and he's looking to come off what he did on Sunday with those 2 long balls.
Puts it up in the air. Right side, coming over Schellenbarger. He can't get there, dives, and the ball falls. Piotrowski will scurry on to second base, and it's his 2nd double of the game. Tough play for Schellenbarger. That was hit up in the twilight sky, and sometimes the ball's tough to read at this stage of the night.
Yeah, it just kind of fooled Schellenbarger there as he tried to make the sliding catch, unable to, and Piotrowski able to stand at second. And you see Martin over on your screen trying to get over there as well, but moved back for Schellenbarger.
He called him off last second. Schellenbarger, a very long run over to the right field line there. And now Joe Burke sends one into center field. Coming in hard, Cornwell slides, cannot make the catch either. Piotrowski will stop at third base. Burke is on with a single, and the last 2 swings on back-to-back pitches have been tough plays for the Hopper outfielders.
Yeah, with the twilight sky heading into the dark hours here in this ball game, and it can be tough to see, especially with the stadium lights on you.
Those are just 2 tough plays, too. A couple dying baseballs. I mean, Piotrowski put his in the magic Bermuda triangle spot that nobody's really able to get to. And then Burke just flared into center. A lot of topspin led to that ball dropping. Ground ball to shortstop. Stevenson over to Martin. Throw to first. In time, double play. Chase Rodriguez grounds out 6-4-3, and scoring is Piotrowski. 9-2 Beavers. They extend the lead, but at the cost of 2 runs.
Exactly what the Hoppers needed to limit the damage. Just could not afford to have another lengthy inning. They do give another one across, but the bases are clear, 2 outs.
Hilbrick has not had to put a ball in play today. 0 for 0 with 3 walks. And now he takes ball 1 at the feet. Hoppers with a very clutch double play. They still trail now by 7 runs with very limited time. Just 9 outs to play with over the course of the next 3 innings. The 1-0 misses on the opposite side of the plate. 2 balls, no strikes to Ray. 5 years at Purdue Northwest, the 24-year-old standing at 6 foot 190. Can really swing it as he puts one up the middle. Off the infield grass cutout. Bobbled by Stevenson, and it's going to be a single for Hilbrick. That took the wackiest bounce off of the pitcher's mound cutout on the infield grass.
Yeah, there's nothing Stevenson could do on that funny hop.
Oh, my goodness. Very pronounced is that cutout there right behind the slab. And as soon as that ball hit it, I mean, we've seen a couple balls now on this infield grass that have played tricks. Coupled at Maddox at third base that have hopped over his glove earlier in the game. And now here comes Christian Ortega. Walked with the bases loaded his last time to bring a run in.
Yeah, there's nothing really you can do on that. If that play happens, it's unfortunate. You just got to be able to just chop it off and just move on to the next one. And
yeah, sometimes the ball bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. Ortega takes strike 1. That was right down the heart of the plate. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike from Harry Orth. Gave up a double and a single to start the inning, then rolled a couple of ground balls. Or rolled a ground ball for a double play, then Hilbrick singled. Now he takes off for second. Hughes is thrown down wide of the bag, almost gets into center field. Stolen base for Ray Hilbrick, his 2nd of the ball game.
Still going at it are these Beavers, even with this 7-run lead.
I mean, an 8-win team, you got to keep an aggressive mindset at all times. Considering we're in that home stretch of the season, just a month left. And if they're playing this type of baseball at the end of the year, my goodness. I mean, they're right up there with all the other teams that have 15 wins on the season, and it's very even with the talent through all 4 squads.
Yeah, it really has, and you got to give credit for all four teams, the coaches for developing talented rosters and able to have guys come in certain situations to make every game competitive.
Foul ball, another foul ball gets Hughes. He's frustrated with getting beat up today, man. I mean, wincing right there. We'll see it again. Ortega just got a piece, and it got him on the inner thigh. I mean, he's been hit every part of his body right now. He got one on the wrist, on his throwing hand, took one right down Main Street, then took one on the inner thigh on the right side. I mean, all over the place. Clubby's going to need to get him some ice packs after today.
Yeah, it's been rough at the plate. Just it's coming right at you right there. But Hughes is able to stay strong and able to finish his duty behind the dish.
Here's the 3-2 again. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be a play for Stevenson. Picks it up clean. Throw to first for out number 3. Hilbrick singles, but is stranded at second base. Another run scored for the Beavers on the double play from Chase Rodriguez. 6 innings of baseball in the books. 9-2 lead for the Beavers over the Hoppers on a Friday firework night at Jimmy John's Field.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Top of the 7th inning. Welcome back into the USPBL Network. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. Fans having a blast on a Friday night, enjoying some good baseball. A lot of run scoring today, but just on one side, it's that team with the pinstripes in the field. And these Beavers with a 9-2 lead are going to turn it over to their bullpen in Jacob Pennington here in the 7th.
Yeah, great outing from Lokinen here tonight. We'll talk more about him in just a few moments, but take a look at the pitcher on hand here. Jacob Pennington making his 7th appearance here in the USPBL on 17 innings pitched, 18 punch-outs compared to 5 walks for the man out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Looking to come in here with his team up 7. He has allowed 12 earned runs, though, something he needs to work on. Go through 17 innings of work here so far. He spent his college ball days over at Murray State. Spent a few years over there, and before that, he played over at Tennessee in the SEC Conference, University of Tennessee, having a really good season, making it deep into the College World Series. And
yeah, Pennington's given up 3 homers on the year. Does not bode well for this team. Greg Lokinen just gave up 2 hits in 6 innings. Both of those hits were home runs. And that's the only reason the Hoppers are on the board today, as Todd Maddox fouls off the first pitch. Maddox 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. And Greg Lokinen, my goodness, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Foul back to the screen. That brings up his total to 64 on the year. That's through 58 innings. And if you have more strikeouts than innings pitched, you're doing something right.
Yeah, he's been really on point here tonight. That's something Coach John Dabrowski has to be pleased about. Limiting the Hoppers' offense to just those 2 hits. Both of those on the long balls, but just able to keep this hot offense of the Hoppers in check. And we mentioned having guys like Garrick and Marcoux back in the lineup could change things up, but that didn't faze Lokinen for the most part here tonight. And
I mean, he responded so well after that third inning. He was visibly frustrated at the end of the third inning. Even though he struck out the side, he did give up 2 homers and then retired the next 8 straight. And even though he walked 2 in the 6th inning, maybe his control starts to waver as he gets high in pitch count. I mean, he still was a dog. He got back-to-back flyouts to center field to end that 6th inning and keep it at just 2 runs for the Hops.
And that was huge for him, able to get himself back into his motion, back into the swing of things, and able to lock down and retire 8 straight. And that really set the difference. Let's set the tone, and was a difference maker for the rest of the game.
And you got to give credit to this Beaver offense as well. 9 runs they scored early and often. 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, then 4 more in the 5th. Tacked on another in the 6th. But Jacob Pennington here walking the first batter that he will face in Todd Maddox. It's now Whit Hughes, who has also struck out twice today.
Yeah, anything they can do here, trailing by 7, here with these last 9 outs to work with.
Foul ball on the first pitch to Whit. A little bit frustrated as he missed that one just a tad underneath that 89-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the pitch he likes right there. He went deep earlier this season on a fastball high and inside. Wave and a miss, 0-2. Breaking stuff down the middle of the plate from Pennington.
And he throws a cutter, a slider. They'll use about 42.5% of the time each. He'll throw in a changeup. And really often you see a 4-seamer for him, only using that 6.5% of the time. So he relies on his off-speed heavily.
0-2, tipped into the glove, out of the glove of Stefanovic. It'll stay 0-2 to Hughes. Stefanovic, he will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and what a day he has had. And for a guy in Ronco that has struggled a little bit at the plate, a 163 average coming in, just 8 total hits on the season before today. Now he's got 10, and he also has 9 RBIs after a heck of a day so far, and he's looking for more. Hughes takes ball 1 outside, extending the at-bat.
And being that bottom part of the order, Stefanovic looking to get himself into a rhythm and having a huge day at the plate with 4 runs driven in is just impressive as Pennington goes to the top part of the strike zone to strike out with Hughes. And that's the 3rd time Hughes has struck out here today.
1 on, 1 out. Maddox will stay at first after the walk. Great response from Pennington after losing Maddox via the base on balls. Now Bailey Martin will step in. 1 for 2 with the walk. Solo shot for him back in the 3rd. Pennington kicks and fires, swing and a miss. Back pick over to first. Back in safely as Maddox. Martin grabbed his 10th RBI of the season with that long ball. 2nd homer of the year. These Hoppers looking for a hit other than a home run. Cue ball off the end of the bat makes it 0-2.
And you thought, after Martin was able to tie it up in the 3rd inning, that the Eastside Diamond Hoppers were going to get something rolling. They did a couple batters later with the homer for Marcoux, but they've been silent ever since.
That pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's now 12 strikeouts for Hopper hitters today, something they don't do very often. I mean, a dozen, that's very uncharacteristic for this Eastside team. Here's the 1-2 from Jacob Pennington. Fouled away by Martin. That's why he's the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, very uncommon. You see from a team that has been strong offensively all season long, and coming in as a team, they struck out 213 times through the span of 26 games.
Wow, swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Pennington. Sits down Martin at the top of the zone, just like he got Hughes. Heck of a job from Pennington after walking the leadoff batter here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, chasing there with the fastball near the top tier part of the strike zone at 89 for back-to-back punch-outs. And this is a team that really strikes out roughly 8 times per game. Basically, if you do all the averages, and for people who like to do math.
I am not one of those guys. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I'll do baseball math, but that's it. Stevenson waiting on the 0-1. Make it 0-2. He struck out once, grounded out to shortstop, and flied out to center.
Pennington looking to get out of this inning after getting Maddox on the leadoff walk.
Another foul ball from Stevenson. And wouldn't this be sweet for Jacob Pennington, walking the leadoff batter and then sitting down the 9-1-2 batters via the strikeout. Nice play for my man over there on the first base side. 20th pitch of the inning for Jacob Pennington. Checks the runner, the 0-2. Breaking ball. Swung on and hit deep to left field. Not deep enough. Bean goes back a few steps in front of the track and hauls it in for out number 3. Stevenson gave it a ride, just not enough on a hot night. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Genesis Credit Union Take Me Out to the Ball Game is up next, and a 9-2 lead for the Beavers here on the USPBL Network.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
After singing about peanuts and Cracker Jacks, we are back. Bottom of the 7th inning and a 9-2 lead for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. 4th team in the USPBL, but Alex, they're not playing like it one bit. They've been awesome all over the field, defensively, on the mound. Their lineup 1 through 9 has contributed. Love what we saw today from the Beavers.
You got to give credit to John Dabrowski and the rest of the guys, for coming through here today against one of the top pitchers in the league in Pierce Banks and getting to him, and then also John Kelly, one of the strongest relievers in the league, and just been able to come through 1 through 9, top to bottom. They have been on fire here tonight, and the man at the plate to start it off has 4 of those ribbies. Ranko Stefanovic having himself a night.
Best game he has had here in 2024 in the USPBL, and big shout out to one of the Game Ops employees over there launching balls into the sweet seats just above us in the press box. He's got quite an arm on him as well.
Keeping the fans engaged here. Everyone here in the USPBL and this family-friendly atmosphere and entertainment for everyone to come out here. The fireworks they'll be looking for after the game every Friday night.
Stefanovic swings and misses at the 1-0. 2 for 3 on the day for Ranko. Fouls that pitch off 1-2. And he broke the 2-2 tie back in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. This game could have gone a heck of a lot different. But with 2 gone after Ortega struck out swinging, Ranko Stefanovic comes through clutch with a line drive sailing over the head of Ben Ferguson in left field with the bases loaded to cash in 2. He extends the at-bat, leaving that one at his feet, 2-2 now. And one thing I love to see, Alex, is the growth of players throughout a season. You see a guy come in May, might not have everything figured out at the plate or in the field, and by the time we hit August, they really start to excel and succeed, and that's a great example in Ranko Stefanovic. His defense has always been great, but at the plate, it took him a month or so to really feel it out, and he is coming through in a big spot for his team late in the year.
Yeah, especially for these guys, coming right out of college, out of the gate, just finishing up their season, then trying to make it here into the USPBL and go through all the tryout process.
Wow, another hit for Ranko. Base hit left center field to lead off the 7th inning. That's the 4th inning in this game. There's been a leadoff single from a Beaver hitter.
And this been really impressive for Savanovic. His best game all season here tonight, and exactly what he wanted to have here from a guy like we mentioned, a guy that came out a little bit slow. It took him some time to get adjusted into the league, and he's come through, and especially for many of the other guys in the similar boat, just making that transition.
Pablo Ruiz looks at ball 1 high and inside.
And it can be a tall task for these guys who are trying to make a good impression, and guys are able to have faith in them and go through all the training and practice to improve themselves day in and day out. And for a guy like Savanovic, he's done his job here tonight, and you got to give credit to all the coaches and on both sides, the hitting coaches, pitching coaches, and making these guys get themselves better to get to the next level. And that's what the message is for all these guys here in the league, and they all have one goal in mind.
A pitch squirts away from Hughes. Down to second goes Stefanovic. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ruiz. And you're right. I mean, the development in this league is top tier, especially when you have an example like that in Ronco, that he's just now tearing the cover off the baseball, especially in today's game. A lot of really good talent, very experienced and knowledgeable coaches in this league. Ruiz flares one in the air to first base. In foul territory, Marcoux makes the catch, and there's 1 out with the runner at second base.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a half swing off Ruiz. Just unfortunate that Marcoux had it up there in the ground to make the play, and we'll see what the Beavers can do here. Add some more. No, they're up 7, but you want to be able to play through. Don't take your foot off the gas. And
no lead's too big against this Hopper offense, but they have struggled mightily today with just 2 hits. Both of them are solo shots coming in the 3rd inning. Ben Wilcoxon today, 1 for 4, has grounded out 3 times. One of them was a fielder's choice. He singled back in the 4th. Trying to knock off these Hoppers in second place. Here's a high chopper to third. Chest high grab for Maddox. He throws on to first. Now the return to third. Not in time. Nice play from Todd Maddox. He looked back the runner, Stefanovic, but Ronco, a little too quick, was able to scurry down to third after the throw cross diamond.
Yeah, Stefanovic read that perfectly. He could have just stayed back after Wilcoxon got out, but he knew after Maddox threw, he had time to go and able to beat the tag from the throw from Marcoux back to Maddox. And that just heads up base running.
Blake Bean now. 1 for 3 day, has hit the ball hard a few times today. Almost had a clutch opposite field base hit his last time. Base hit and a run scored in the 3rd inning. Has also lined out twice today and a GDP. 1-0 in the dirt. Through 44 at-bats on the season, Blake Bean has only walked 3 times and has struck out twice. He has been hit by 4 pitches. There's a ball inside, and that's a reason why he doesn't crowd the plate a ton, but he's definitely got his toes on the white line, very close to home plate.
And not really much of a stance by Bean.
Orth delivers a fastball for strike 1. Trying to strand the runner Stefanovic at third after he had a leadoff single. Orth folds the glove on his left pec, now comes set at the belt. From the stretch, the 3-1. Make it 3-2. Bean was ready to toss the bat. He'll be brought back.
Yeah, that was a borderline pitch. Got the inside. Good job by Hughes to make the umpire think it's a strike.
Full count, 2 outs. The pitch grounded up the middle, gloved by Orth. It's going to be a play for Maddox. On to first, bare hand, they got him. Web gem play from the Hopper defense. What a spin move, knockdown from the pitcher, Orth. A little behind the back move, deflection. It goes 1-5-3 for the 3rd out in the 7th inning. 9-2 lead for the Beavers, but Maddox makes a heck of a play. We go to the 8th.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Eighth inning of action from the USPBL Network alongside Alex Johnson. I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We'll get you prepped for tomorrow, our next broadcast. 5:30 p.m. from Game 1 between the Utica Unicorns and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. It's a doubleheader. One of the last doubleheaders. Get here on a Saturday next week in August. On August 3rd. That's going to be our final doubleheader of the year. But tomorrow, 5:30, pregame at 5:15 alongside Alex Johnson, Tom Cavanaugh. We will be on the call all weekend long with you for a great matchup between two of the top teams in the USPBL.
Yeah, the Mammoths got a 5-2 win in the game last night against the Unicorns. Going to be a good rematch for two more here tomorrow, Tom. We'll see how the Unicorns respond. We'll see how the Mammoths do after getting a huge win after losing in walk-off fashion on Sunday against this Beavers team who has been really dominant here tonight.
They have. They've followed up that 10-run performance just about the same with 9 runs on 13 hits in this game. Noah Marcoux takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. That 1 was a solo shot to deep right center field. 2-0 to Noah. Jacob Pennington still towing the slab as well. The first reliever for this Beaver team, and they have nobody warming up in the bullpen currently. Check swing from Marcoux. He definitely went around. 2-1.
Looking at for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a family campout presented by Metro Detroit Chevy dealers.
Pennington, the high leg kick, and Marcoux goes the opposite way into left field. Leadoff single for the Hoppers. They're trying to get something going late. Just 6 outs to play with, Alex.
Yeah, they need something to roll here. That's the first hit that was not a home run for Eastside here tonight. And the first hit since the 3rd inning, it was Noah Marcoux. So a long time since they have gotten a hit recorded on the board. And trailing by 7 here with 6 outs remaining.
Yeah, it took 17 batters in a row before the next hit came from the same man that did it back in the 3rd, as you mentioned. Matt Gehrig swings and misses at a slider outside. 3 strikeouts today for Gehrig. Pennington trying to put another one on the score sheet as Matt sends one in the air to right field. Not deep, coming in and letting it drop was Pablo Ruiz. The throw to second is in time. Out at 2 is Marcoux. And that's going to be a fielder's choice for Matt Gehrig as he blooped it into right field. Marcoux was just a little too close to first base there.
Yeah, that was really shallow, and he had to be careful if he didn't want to get doubled up. But just a really strong arm off of Ruiz over to Wilcoxon. That will go down as a 9-6.
I honestly don't hate that play from Pablo Ruiz. He might have had a chance to catch it, but if he sees that Noah Marcoux is hugging first base and he's not getting about halfway out, he just needs to catch that ball on one bounce and fire it to second, exactly what he did to get the force. So, I mean, if he catches it in the air, it's still 1 out runner at first base, but if he lets it drop and throws out the runner at 2, same deal.
Yeah, so no harm there. You still got the out, but in a different way that people would expect to see.
It's a 9-6 fielder's choice for Gehrig. Swing and a miss from Cornwell makes it 1-2.
Yeah, something you don't see really often.
No, never.
I see rarely, but a 9-6. It was in the right spot. It was a shallow fly ball. Let him drop in and got the job done.
Cornwell goes down swinging. 2 gone for Ben Ferguson. Second strikeout of the day for Colin. Also the 3rd strikeout on the mound for Jacob Pennington in his short time.
We'll see what Ferguson could do. Try to keep the inning going. Get a 2-out rally. We'll try to chip away here. It's going to take a lot for these Hoppers to leap their way back into this game, and it's just not been their night so far. And got to give credit to the Beavers team all around.
They played one of their best games of baseball today against one of the top teams. Strike one called to Ferguson, 1-1. 0 for 2 day for Ben. Grounded back to the pitcher's mound and flied out to center. Down and away. We'll be here all weekend. Alex Johnson, myself, Tom Cavanaugh. We have 2 set for tomorrow, as we just mentioned. And then on Sunday at 1:05, a rematch between these two teams. Just a few more meetings for the Beavers and Hoppers this season. Breaking pitches outside make it 3-1.
Want to be disciplined at the plate here, especially in this situation for the Hoppers. Got to get yourself on base.
If they can put together a crooked number here, they got themselves a chance. Taking off for second is Gehrig. Here's a line drive into center field. Touching second onto third will go Gehrig, and a broken bat single for Ben Ferguson will put runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Hey, it did his job.
That ball nearly hit Gehrig. he had to scurry out of the way.
Yeah, got the hit and run, that executed it properly, and he had to do that in that situation for Coach Ryan Cockey. Anything you can to get runs across the board faster. And got Brian Schellenberger coming up now, 0 for 2 here tonight. We'll love to see him come through here with an RBI.
Loves the left side of the diamond as he takes strike one on the outside corner. Also has a walk to his name today. That happened in his first at-bat. And then he swung at a 3-0 pitch his last time and sent one out to center for an out. 0-1 misses. Ferguson going to take second base. Here's a tap foul. Ferguson will have to head on back. Pennington not patrolling any of these runners right now. Neither are the infielders. They might just give Ferguson second base here, as the Hoppers have 4 outs to play with now, needing 7 runs. It's been a great day on all aspects of baseball for this Birmingham Bloomfield squad. The 1-2. Fighting it away, Schellenberger stays alive.
Everything that has worked out for them has been tremendous here tonight, and all aspects of the game. They're starting pitching by Lokinen, the offense coming through, giving him run support after only 1 run throughout the entire game, known as last outing.
Here's the 1-2 again. Line drive fouled on the right field line into the umbrellas. These will be the final games in July, finishing up with our Sunday match on the 28th. Then we move into August, Thursday, August 1st, Beavers and Unicorns. Ferguson will take second base, no throw, and Schellenberger will work a 2-2 count now with 2 outs.
Yeah, 2 runners on now and in scoring position.
Best chance they've had since the 3rd inning. Another foul ball from Bryant.
Trying to cut the deficit to 5 here. Still a lot has to go their way.
Pennington's going to ask for a new baseball. But yeah, I mean, might need some help on the mound. Maybe a couple of walks mixed in there as well. Pennington, though, is locating extremely well. Has only walked 1 through an inning and 2/3. The 2-2 pitch is sent into center field. Coming in, Rodriguez, he's going to let it fall. Scoring is Gehrig. In goes Ferguson. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Bryant Schellenberger, and the Hoppers cut it to 5.
Schellenberger did his job. Came through with 2 runners on in scoring position, chipping away at the lead, at the deficit rather, but exactly what he had to do here. Keep yourself going and find your way through here, and now trailing by 5 with your final 4 outs.
Schellenbarger picks up RBIs 11 and 12 on the season with that knock. Todd Maddox takes ball 1 low. Good to see the Hoppers respond back after multiple innings of scoreless baseball.
Just good to see, trying to finish out strong, and what you wanted to do here after just being really shut down all night long. Well, besides that 3rd inning.
And the Beavers early in this year would have been in a situation where they don't put up a 9 spot, and this game would be a lot closer. But right now they can kind of, I guess, relax just a little bit, considering they were up by 7, now 5. There's still some game left to be played with, but having a cushion of 7 runs going into the late innings is huge for a team that is unfamiliar with that stage of the game and being up by that much.
Yeah, just a different mindset that these guys haven't been used to yet this season, and playing a little bit more lax, with that cushion, but you don't want to take anything for granted. The Hoppers are going to play till the final out, and
they just don't have to be so uptight, as it's a 1-run game most of the time for them. Here's a check swing. They're going to offer to the field. Maddox did not go around. Full count. Todd is 0 for 2 with a walk today.
And you see teams like in certain situations where they have more guys on the bench, they would pull some of their starters out. No, hey, we're down 7 in this point of the game. Let's just put some of the guys in now as defensive replacements, give them a chance to take the field.
The 3-2 pitch is a called strike 3 on the lower inside corner. Maddox goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today, and that ends the 8th inning. Jacob Pennington finishes with 4 strikeouts in 2 frames. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Beavers trying to tack on a few more after the Hoppers answered. You're watching USPBL baseball from Jimmy John's Field.
You know, they say losing hope, that's the real disaster. Last year, Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river. And when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
As we enter the bottom of the 8th inning alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. Hoppers got a few runs back, and that man's hopping a little bit with the bunny ears. 9-4 is our score, and the new man on the mound is Austin Baugh for Eastside.
Yeah, the team has cut the deficit to win 5, but it's up to Austin Baugh to keep the score where it's at. He's a man coming out, look at here, making his 5th appearance on the season. 6 innings of work, so not a whole lot of action for him so far this season. 8 punch-outs compared to 2 walks and a 4.50 ERA. Playing from Avon, Indiana is where he hails from. He's a guy that also spent time over at Kentucky Wesleyan. Looking at his stat line for him over there, he was 1-2 in 10 appearances, pitched 14 innings of work. He had 13 strikeouts, 9 walks, and allowed 7 earned runs in his final year over there. He spent 5 years in that department, in that university rather, and he's going to be tasked here with the 3-4-5: Piotrowski, Burke, and Rodriguez.
Final line for Harry Orth. He goes 2 innings in relief, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 0 walks, 0 strikeouts. Baugh drops the glove through the wind-up motion. Gets the first pitch called for a ball. Piotrowski, 3 for 4 day with a pair of doubles. This man does not stop hitting the baseball. Make it 2-0.
He's been on point. Another phenomenal day at the plate, picking up where he left off on Sunday. You know, he hasn't left a yard yet here tonight, but those offense has been there.
Fouls it away, makes it 2-1. And Alex, we look at some of the new guys. I count 5 of them in the lineup right now for this Beaver team. Bean, Pietrowski, Burke, Rodriguez, and Ruiz. And these are all impact players that have changed the identity of this team tenfold. It's been really fun to watch all these guys come onto the scene and really make an impact to win some games. Pietrowski lines one out to Schellenbarger, hit it a little bit too hard, and there's one out.
Especially when you're coming into a situation, Tom, when your team coming in 3-16, at the senior showcase, and you're just in a team that has been trying to find ways to get back into the swing of things, get back into the race, and just getting some fresh guys come in and just making an impact right away. It's just been crucial for Coach John Dabrowski, Nick Caruso, and the rest of the coaching staff over for the Beavers. And this team has changed the identity so much based on those guys coming in right away. Being tasked to come into a situation where, hey, this is not the season where you want to have in mind, but we all have one goal in mind, to get to work to improve and get signed to a major league organization. And these guys have bought in to Coach John Dombrowski's system and going out through practice, night in and night out to get better.
Another guy with a multi-hit day is Joe Burke. He sends one into center. Cornwell cannot find it, drops the ball. Burke is aboard. That's likely going to be an error on Colin Cornwell. That was a line drive, a laser at 97 off the bat. Could not come down with the catch.
Yeah, right there in the nighttime, Scott. Looked like he had it in his glove and lost it.
It hit him like on the heel of the glove. Very weird. It must have had a little topspin or something to change the trajectory, I should say, to Cornwell. And that's we'll see what they give him on the scoreboard. I like to think that's an error, and it will be chalked up on the Hoppers. So not the 4th hit of the day for Joe Burke. He has 3.
It came off at 97 on the exit velocity, so Cornwell had to be ready for that.
Here's a poke into right field for Chase Rodriguez. He continues to stay red hot at the plate. His first hit of this game. 2 on with 1 out for Ray Hilbrick.
Could change the inning. Instead of having 2 outs and a runner on first, now have first and second, 1 out, and the Beavers are looking to add on to this lead, trying to get those runs back after the Hoppers got 2 in the last half inning.
I'll tell you one thing, going back to that Cornwell error, a line drive that's hit very low and you have a ton of lights along with fans wearing multicolored shirts, it's hard to pick up a baseball in center if the ball stays low enough. Hilbrick grounds the ball on the first pitch to second. Martin to Stevenson. He will fake the throw to first. 2 outs, runners on the corners as Hilbrick grounds into the fielder's choice and reaches first base.
Yeah, going back to the player that's able to get an out there on the fielder's choice. So if those lights on you, it could really affect your eyes.
If the ball gets high enough, you can kind of pick it out into the night sky and the trees. As Peyton Schubert comes to the dish. Pinch hit situation for Christian Ortega. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Schubert gets a pinch hit chance to drive in another run. Strike 1 called.
And look at it, people also might think you might be blindsided in the broad daylight, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is beaming on you in center field, and it might affect your vision. But out here, the night sky and the lights on you.
Schubert, swing and a miss, make it 0-2. The 23-year-old out of Pensacola, Florida. Went to Edward Waters College. That's an NAIA school down there in the Sunshine State. Spent 2021 to 23 with Edward Waters. Now he flicks that away on the 0-2, staying alive.
And looking to come through here, trying to get another run on the board for Birmingham, get double-digit runs. And
wouldn't that be sweet? Back-to-back public games, the Beavers put up a 10 spot.
See what they can do here.
Austin Bosch shakes off, now nods, sets near the belly. The 0-2 pitch, way outside. Also, another defensive change that we did not pick out earlier. Luis Aviles is doing the catching now for the Hoppers in place of Whit Hughes. We will see Aviles lead off the top of the 9th inning. Schubert, another foul ball. Head coach John Dombrowski knocks it down. Couldn't make the clean play with the bare hand, but the Diesel defenders keep everything in front.
He does a lot of work now with his infielders. And to keep them, they do drills outside of their dugout, routine pop-ups, ground ball plays.
He's got the coolest jugs pitching machine that sends the ball sky high in the air. The 1-2 to Schubert, swing and a miss. Austin Baugh works out of a jam and strands two to end the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. 9-4 ball game advantage Beavers. They're going to try to close it out here with Luis Aviles leading things off for the Hops. You're watching USPBL Baseball. We'll be right back for the final inning of action.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Fans sticking around for the 9th inning of action, and then fireworks to follow on Olympics night and Firework Friday at Jimmy John's Field. Alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh, along with you all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as Brett Irwin enters the fold and is tasked with the final 3 outs in this game against a very good Eastside Diamond Hoppers team.
Yeah, we'll see what he can be able to do here. Brett Irwin, he was on the Hoppers last season, so he's very familiar with some of the guys here coming up here to the plate. I don't know if they get to that point, but taking a look at what Irwin has done so far this season, in 11 games so far, 13 2/3 innings of work, 16 strikeouts, 9 walks, only 2 earned runs around, an opposing batting average of 167. Tasked to face the 9-1-2 to slam the door on these Hoppers and try to take this first game of this weekend series. Well, both of these teams will be back here on Sunday at 1:05 for a rematch. But they got to get these 3 outs here.
Defensive changes, only one for the Beavers. Peyton Schubert at third base. And the pinch hitter, Luis Aviles, will lead things off and take strike 1 from Brett Irwin. Aviles, 24-year-old out of Palmetto Bay, Florida. Spent college time at 3 different schools: Georgia C. Wallace State Community College, Rice University, and Tulane. Here's a fly ball into shallow right field. Pietrowski scaling back, makes the catch on his heels. 1 gone on the fly out from Aviles.
And they're able to get that one skied up in there. And his first public at bat here in the USPBL, Pietrowski able to retire him and looking to make an impact. We'll see what he could do here. He'll most likely get the nod behind the dish on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Talking with head coach Ryan Kottke, said he receives the ball so well behind the plate. Very comfortable back there, as we saw last inning. 0-1 to Bailey Martin, who went deep back in the 3rd. Here's a pop-up, foul ground, first base side. Joe Burke comes over, runs out of room. Beavers looking for their 9th win of the season. They'd still be well into 4th place, as the Unicorns sitting at 3rd at 15-14. The 0-2, just off the plate outside. Irwin over the head. The 1-2. A tad bit low and outside. Nice take from Bailey Martin to extend this game and extend this at bat.
Yeah, just working every pitch he can. The base runners here down 5.
Way outside with the slider. Nice work from Bailey. He worked a 3-2 count to open up the ball game against Greg Lokinen, ultimately walked. He's in a similar position. Irwin's 3-2 pitch almost hits Martin. Ball 4. So a 1-out walk puts one of many base runners on for this Hopper team, trailing by 5.
Yeah, Irwin was ahead in the count 0-2 and made some mistakes and got Martin to get back in the count and lost him there. And that's got to keep it going here for Eastside. Need to get down to that heart of the order. You have Marcoux on deck, then Gehrig.
0 for 4 day for Grant Stevenson. He takes strike 1 on the lower outside corner. Irwin looking to respond after the long at-bat walk to Bailey Martin standing at first. Likely not stealing as they need multiple other runners aboard. Foul ball, make it 0-2.
0-2 situation again. We'll see if Irwin can shut Stevenson down this time.
And Grant's been to an 0-2 count his last 3 at-bats. That's tough sledding. Irwin's 0-2. Lifted, right side, out of play, foul. No safe situation for Brett Irwin on the mound, just looking to close the door with 2 more outs. 9-4 ball game. Beavers scored early and often. That's outside, 1-2. Beavers struck first, making it 1-0 in the bottom of the second. A couple of home runs, solo shots from the Hoppers made it 2-1 in the third. And then since then, we've seen a ton of runs scored from the Beavers as here's another fly ball. First base side, Burke. Will he have a chance this time? Yes, he makes the catch a foot away from his own dugout. Excuse me, from the Hopper dugout. 2 away. Nice play from the first baseman over there.
Yeah, just able to get enough real estate to get under it and make the catch. And now just 1 out away from securing the victory here tonight, and it all comes down to Noah Marcoux.
Since he walked. Marcoux, swing and a miss on the first pitch. 2 for 3 with a walk today for Noah. Homered in the third and singled in the 8th. Stefanovic set up on the outside corner. Marcoux takes ball 1 high and away. Both these teams, as we mentioned, get the day off tomorrow. They'll be back 1:05 p.m. on Sunday. Come down to Jimmy John's Field and see these two square off again. 2-1 the count now as Irwin leaves that one in the dirt.
It's going to take a lot here for Eastside, but got Marcoux at the plate. Looking to get something going. And you got Gehrig on deck.
2-1 pitch. High and inside, lift in the hands, out of the way. Marcoux in a hitter's count. Good to have Noah Marcoux back in the Hopper lineup. (3-1) pitch. Called strike. We're going to push to full. Hoppers down to their final strike. Marcoux the final chance. Irwin just under 20 pitches on the night here in the 9th inning. The 3-2, swing and a miss. Marcoux goes down for out number 3, and the Beavers win their 9th game of the season in a 9-4 rout of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Perfect game from Birmingham Bloomfield head coach John Dombrowski, and those Beaver fans gotta be pleased.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. They were on point on all aspects of the game, really pulled away. No, in the middle part of the game, took an edge in the 3rd, and then the 5th inning where they really opened up the door, and the Hoppers, too much to handle for them tonight. Greg Lokinen really dominant on the mound, only allowed the 2 long balls, but had 11 punch-outs, and really giving them an edge in the strikeout leader category in the USPBL. And you got to give credit to the Beavers for making a turnaround and getting back on track on the right path as they gain some ground here in the USPBL standings.
Yes, they do. 9-19, the Beavers move up a game, and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers fall to 15-12. All three of the top teams sitting with 15 wins. Nobody able to break that, but we will see one of the teams, Westside or Utica, grab their 16th win tomorrow in our doubleheader game that we'll see between those starting at 5:30.
Yeah, that will be an interesting doubleheader here tomorrow as Westside got the win 5-2 on Thursday night against Utica. We'll see how Utica responds from that loss, but this is going to be an important battle here as all these teams right neck and neck with each other, and the Beavers just knocking on the door, just a few games away from getting right into the rest of the pack. So there'll be a lot to look forward to tomorrow and the rest of this weekend, and can't believe we're going to be in the final month of the season in about a week.
It's gone by quick, man. Pierce Banks falls to 4-3 on the year. The win goes to Greg Lokinen. He moves to 5-4. Want to give a big thank you to our entire crew today. Director Christian Jackson, on the camera Cooper Schoenberg, David Forrest, also Dom Minchella, Jeremiah Green on our first and third base sides, Jacob Maurer, our producer, graphics Audrey Purcell, and from all of us here alongside Alex Johnson, I'm Tom Cavanaugh saying so long from Jimmy John's Field in downtown Utica from the USPBL Network. Your final score one more time, 9-4. The fourth place Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers take down the Eastside Diamond Hoppers with 14 hits in a very complete win. Ranko Stefanovic is your star. We'll see you again tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. for a doubleheader between the Mammoths and Unicorns. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.